This episode of Keeping Tabs is brought to you by Doot Loot, your one-stop shop for Japanese and Russian foils. If you spend $100 or more, you'll earn free entry into our online cEDH league this month. So don't miss out and upgrade your deck's bling today.
Welcome to Keeping Tabs with Critical EDH. If you want to play with the Matt Hayes, him with this Matt, come play in the Critical EDH League, and we'll have a good time.
The Matt Hayes Matt.
Yeah.
Does he actually play with that Matt in League?
I don't know.
I think we're gonna force him to soon.
Might be a requirement. Matt has got a lot of attention just on random podcasts. He was on the Winning In podcast with XP, and he's just a great player. And it's a shame he doesn't really have a whole lot of like social media presence and stuff, but he hangs out on our server and talks all the time there. So if you want to talk to him, he's the person to talk to if you want to play Trickbind and
he plays
Blue
like
Farm.
A control-y type of blue farm.
A cope farm. Yeah.
He doesn't play Necro, which feels incorrect.
Really?
Yeah, he really doesn't play a Necro. It's pretty crazy.
We'll get him someday.
But yeah, I mean, he's a local like Hawaii player.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he travels around
for
business, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's the cEDH UK Championship that's happening." And
hey, I'm
like,
just gonna go top 40 it.
I was watching a video of like the review of all. I think it was Casting Cost cEDH that was reviewing like all the top decks from that tournament, and they're like, and then next we have Matt Hayes on, and I'm like. What the fuck?
He didn't like tell anyone he was going out there. Yeah, it was so funny.
He didn't, and I messaged him like, "Dude, are you in the UK right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I was,
he's like, I was around."
Yeah. He's everywhere.
I love this guy,
and he's here.
I'm so happy. I got to meet him in Pittsburgh, and then just ever since, I just like, yep, this is awesome.
Yeah, and Fishbowl too.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
I posted this on Twitter. I thought it was funny. It's like, I hate myself, and then he shows him Archon of Ameria, and he's like, wow, I hate this a lot more.
Yeah, I could imagine. I don't agree with this. I enjoy a nice Archon of Ameria, but I'm not playing it anymore. So
it's fine. We'll talk about stacks a little bit later and where it sits in the meta, because I think Austin and I are both experimenting with stacks, and I think a lot of decks are, and rightfully so right now. I think it's a good time to be experimenting with it, but I still don't think that these like hard stacks lists really have a place, because they just die to like an overloaded cyclonic rift, and like
you just need to be able to turn the corner, right?
Like not only turn the corner, but if your stacks ultimately all gets removed in one fell swoop, what good is it? Yeah,
I mean the idea with like certain stacks lists, we'll get into it later. Sure. We'll get into it later. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of the league, November League is off and running.
We've had a little bit of a late start. As far as like getting all the details and stuff out for November.
That's my fault.
No. It's all of our fault. We were just at Fishbowl, and we had a lot of stuff in the works and stuff we wanted to get finalized that didn't quite make the November 1st deadline. But amongst many things, besides the prizing and all that stuff that we'll talk about here shortly, but we have a new addendum that we're working on with our judge staff, which is very, very cool. So we're taking the top deck addendum, multiplayer addendum, and then modifying it to be specific for our league. And it's got stuff that is actually pertinent to us, which is really great.
Some like random like tardiness stuff, and just like what happens when someone DCs for this long. Like, go check the addendum, because there's been a lot of work that's been put into it. Shout out again,
it's not like
judges,
complicated stuff either. It's not like we're trying to fine tune we're finally control what people are doing. It's stuff like, hey, please don't use clear sleeves.
It's like it's
keep
also
your deck on the screen.
Your
library on the screen. Like, keep your hand visible. Like, don't.
In reality, it's just like it's a response to some FAQ stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just get so many tickets for, hey, like what happens here?
Gotta pull it up here.
And so it's just nice to have this kind of like finalized, and we're going to keep working on it, obviously, as new things keep happening. But
we're definitely open to feedback. This is something that we're not going to be like set in stone on, but all of the changed and pertinent parts are highlighted in yellow.
Yep.
So everything else is normal and what you should be expecting if you're playing in tournaments. So
also shout out to all the judges that put so much work into this.
Yes, absolutely.
You guys have been amazing. Honestly, this league don't think it'd be running without you guys.
No.
Especially like during Fishbowl when we like look at our phones finally on Sunday and we're like, holy shit, what have you guys been having to deal with?
Yeah, we're all here and there's still judge calls happening.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that our judges have been using it as a platform to like practice judging, which is not something you can really do unless you just like go to events, and you don't always have time or space, or that the event might say, well, we already have all the judges we need for this event, so like you can't go. Or you have to go as a player, and then like, well, you're not really judging.
You're not doing what you want to do there.
So I like that, and then this is also just an open call of if you are a certified judge of any sort.
Hit me up.
Hit any of us up.
I've had a few people already, and we've added them to the judge chat, and it's been nice. Like all the help is good, right? Like especially as the league keeps growing, the more judges that we have. Specifically in the early mornings, which I know American judges are probably not going to be interested in, but specifically in the early mornings, like that's when some of the judge calls are kind of getting left.
And you get free entry to the league as long as you're a judge. Yeah. So you can play in the league as much as you want, and you don't have to pay or anything like that. So
Also, you get to participate in the judge chat, and that stuff is very fun.
Yeah.
There's at least one Kodama Thrasios deck not legal with the Godforsaken Heart holograms.
That is true.
It's only on the commanders.
We also added some updates to player etiquette too, just because we had more stuff than I would have expected to show up the last couple weeks, and I think
it's just because we're growing.
For sure.
We're reaching new audiences all the time, and we're adding new people that are just either finding their way out of other leagues into ours, or they're not used to playing online. There's all different kinds of reasons, right? But yeah, we wanted to clarify and set some expectations for how we expect people to behave in the league, and that includes like respect and all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, also if you find that players are not following this stuff and you are having some problems, some difficulties in a game, like please open a ticket, because
we're going to actively enforce positive not only play patterns but like positive like mental attitude and things like that. If you're being overly negative or you're being like very aggressive in politicking or just being outright rude to people, that is not something we want, and I don't think it's healthy for the long-term viability of our league. Yeah. And like, we're totally okay with you not being in our league if you're going to be that way.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're totally fine with it.
I'm pretty much like no nonsense about someone being a dick at this point. Yeah. Like, if they're just going to act like that and we see it as like a common occurrence with that player, like, nope, you're just out. Like, I don't want that toxic behavior in here.
So we've had a few judge tickets where someone has just said like, hey, this player lied to me about like not having interaction or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just want to make it clear that players will lie to you in real tournaments too, and it's not against the rules. Yeah. And it's also like not them being a dick necessarily.
No, it's definitely not against the rules, right? And like people have every right to do it. You can lie to Austin too in tournaments. Yeah. Just let me crash out so hard if you lie to me in a tournament, but in reality, I mean, like, take that upon yourself. Like, take that as a learning opportunity to. I think Logan said it best when I was going on my rant about lying. It's just like, don't put yourself in the position where getting lied to is going to lose you the game. Yep. And like, obviously, that's not just like a 100% rule that you can just like live by, because
but just be cognizant of it.
Be cognizant of like the thought in your head should be like, if they go back on this deal, do I just lose the game? And if the answer is yes, then like, maybe do something about it, right?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, if you can, exactly.
And then also, on the other side of things, if you decide to lie to people, you'll probably make a name for yourself, because people like to talk about our league, and people like to talk in the league chat, and word spreads around fast. So just be aware of those things, and neither of those things are against the rules, whether it's lying or talking about someone that's like, hey, this person's a liar.
Yeah.
So just be aware of those. But otherwise, I think we've had a good run as far as leagues are going. So far, we ended with 570 players last month, over 3,000 games, which is just disgusting and crazy. You guys are degenerates, and we love it.
I wish I could play more, honestly.
We're on track for the same this month.
Yeah, we're almost at 400 players already for this month.
And
it's not the 6th yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for this month's league, we have quite a bit of prizing again.
You want to talk about I guess we'll talk about our partners in a second, but yeah, we'll go for the prizing first.
Oh, sure.
That's fine.
So you get an entry into Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, it's just like almost blanked. If you're the top point total. Mm-hmm. We have some cash prizing. We have some bonuses for if you've played games and make top 4. We have an ancient tomb. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. If you make top 4, or let's say you get first after the top 16 and all that, if you've played 50 or more games, you will get a bonus $200.
Yeah.
If you make top 4 and you have played 50 or more games, you will get a bonus. $50, I think. Yeah,
people were just kind of claiming that, hey, there's a problem with people like hoarding points and then not playing any more games, and we're just trying to financially incentivize people to continue playing.
50 games sounds like a lot, but if you're at the point where you're able to perform that well and make top cut in a league that has more than 500 players in it, with 3,000 games, if you look at some of the people that are in the top 16, they've already crossed that threshold.
Oh, for sure.
So not for this month, but for last month. They've crossed that. So
yeah. So just some more like incentives there. Some of the altars that we're getting are arcane signets for the top 4, and then an ancient tomb that's going to be full art altered, which is going to be sick. Yeah, I'm really excited. The guy that's doing them, which his link is in this webpage, in the description. He is like super stoked to send me like mock-ups of what he's gonna do because he finally got the card, or he got the cards finally, and he's super stoked to do it. So yeah, I mean that's we're gonna kind of continue doing this type of prizing. We have maybe some idea for an interesting December if we can get it all together. It's a hard one to get together.
But we're willing to work to do it, because I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
and we're excited to talk about that when it's ready.
It might not be till January.
We'll see. We'll try to make it work. Yeah. The other cool thing is just getting to work with a new artist every month and like seeing what they come out with and what they design, and it's so cool. And I love working with these artists and providing feedback and saying like this is what our players like and stuff like that. It's so cool.
It's also just nice to like give a platform to an artist that's like up and coming, right? That they're like just trying to get off the blocks essentially, and just being like, hey, like if you want to share free portfolio, like here you go, right? Like, I think it's really cool. And some people that have been doing like mats are trying to do some altars now. We have a local that is starting to do acrylics finally. Do it, please, because I want it. I wish it was in October because his like style fits so perfectly with like spooky, but I mean, I'm just hoping that he can get that stuff going and we continue supporting artists because I like that stuff.
One thing that I've been thinking about, do you remember back in, let's say, like the old days of Magic when they used to stamp cards that were drafted? Like we should do that.
Dude, that's kind of sick. Wow, that was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. That is cool.
I saw a stamped Wheel of Fortune on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that's
kind of gas. Yeah.
So if you're interested in that or something like that, we can definitely make it happen, and we're interested in making things unique and interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing is we haven't really announced. We want to do card prizing for top 4 and potentially top 16. Just kind of depends on how things work out. We haven't announced that yet because I need to go home and look through my cards and see what I can provide. Also, we haven't announced any stretch goals for this month.
We have the Fierce Guardianship back up, though.
Correct. We did not hit the Fierce Guardianship, which is we need a picture of it first of all.
Yeah.
So we'll try to get that up on Twitter or something. But that was our stretch goal for 600. We almost made it, but the rate at which we're gathering players this month, we'll probably hit it this month.
Yeah. Oh, we also have some like creator altered cards that are interesting. It was a great idea by Eric, and we just kind of handed out some of these like signature cards from some of your favorite cEDH players.
Give us one example.
So, like, for example, like Waffle doodled on some Adrift of Phantasms.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like Kyle from that Tag C, like he doodled on a Corvold, right?
Yeah.
And so like it was a kind of cool idea that I wanted to go by, and I think that'd be kind of cool for like to see those cards out in the wild in the tournament. Would be
I think we'll
dope.
try to find a way to get those out to our participants of the league. That's not necessarily like a top 16 thing.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned for that. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we wanted to really cover, and this is our first video of the month, we wanted to cover our partners for the league this month. Wizards and Warlocks just started a Patreon. They're an up-and-coming channel. They do a lot of excellent gameplay. They're definitely edited in the style of play to win, and I think they'll even tell you that themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely inspired by them.
But they do an excellent job.
They do. They're great personalities. I hadn't really talked to them until we got to play a game. And I got full blown out in I think both of those games. Yeah, both of those games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, it was great playing with them, and if you guys can go check out their channel, they're pretty new.
But I mean, they're already over 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Austin and I were on the channel, and I got to blow their back out
on both times, right?
No. Well, just the one game, but I did okay the second game.
Oh, you were going to win in the second game, and I was like, whoa, hey guys, we can't let this Moloku resolve.
They're like, what does that do? Yeah. And Austin was like, I don't know, but every time he resolves it, he wins.
Yeah, I was like, look, I don't exactly know. I know we're losing if it happens.
And they're like, oh, okay. Well, in that case, here's his pact.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember who won that game. I don't know. Go check it out on the channel. Yeah. But it was a blast playing with them.
It's the same deal as every other month, too. If you subscribe to their Patreon, regardless of what their tiers are, if it's just like their $3 tier or whatever they have, you will get free entry to our league. We're offering that at no cost to them and no cost to you, other than you have to join their Patreon. But just submit a ticket, say, like, here's a screenshot of my membership for them, and then we'll add you for this month. And then the next one is Double Sleeves MTG. You might have heard of them. They're a little bit bigger. They've been around a little bit longer. We've done some gameplay with them back in...
you and Eric did live. Yeah, live gameplay.
In person,
right?
Yeah,
in person.
And that was a blast. Eric turned to them on Maelstrom Wanderer. and Seth was like playing farm. And he's like, excuse me?
He's like, what
I'm dying
here?
to this piece of shit deck.
To semi-blue before it's called semi-blue?
Yeah, it was before semi-blue was a thing.
Yeah.
It was so great. But yeah, they officially started their Patreon. Same deal with them. We love working with these guys, and hopefully we're going to be able to record with them soon.
Also, heads up, they've been playing in our league, so if you guys want to play with the Double Sleeve guys, like... They're in our league quite often, actually.
Both of these teams are in our league.
Yeah,
Wizards are as well. So,
so yeah, go play out some games with these guys.
Yep.
This is Royal Rumble, which is the big tournament after
the next
Frenzy.
big one.
Well, Frenzy happens soon.
Sure.
This is in January.
The next big one that we don't know about.
Yeah,
we know about Frenzy. Everyone knows about Frenzy at the Falls.
Exactly.
And that'll be a big one, too, in around Thanksgiving. This is going to be the first big one of the year next year.
Yeah, I think there was a pretty good turnout of it last year. And from what I heard, everyone had a really good time at it last year. It's going to be a 12K. I think they're going up based on, like, it's just a tiered scaling system.
Yeah. They're advertising it as a 15K.
Yeah. But yeah, so again, if you're the top point total in the league, you get access to the Royal Rumble, or you get a free ticket to Royal Rumble.
And this is before top 16. So
correct.
You would have to have the top point total and be first seed going into top 16. We're handing out this prize then.
Yeah. So, and it just makes it easier just for like timing reasons. And it also is like an incentive for people to vie for the actual seat one, right? Or seat one.
You don't want to just be top 16 or be the winner of the league.
Yeah.
You want to be seat one at the end of the, the longest Swiss of your life.
Yeah. But yeah, I just really like doing this with tournaments. Like, we are trying to like tournament, like the whole league is tournament practice, right? And so us being able to incentivize certain players or the top player in the league and send them to a big tournament to really, show what they have, I think is really good and really healthy.
Speaking of sending to tournaments, we didn't mention the Lango Invitational. That's still happening. So we've given out 2 invitations. Well, it will be 2 soon. So September and October.
Once I get the box to be able to send things out.
Yep. And then November, we'll do the same thing. Whoever wins the league, you get a Lango Invitational invite, and then also same for December. So it's 4 total that we're giving out, which is that's insane. That's and that's at no cost to you. You can win a Black Lotus.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Not a cheap card.
Also, are we allowed to say the thing that you were saying about our league soon?
Oh yeah, we can say now.
Oh yeah, so our top 16. We
should have said it before.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I
just didn't know if that was live yet.
Here's the problem. There's too many things.
Yeah, there's too many.
Like we're doing not too much, but like it's like
people want to be involved, right?
Oh yeah, and there's this.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and by the way, there's this. And
so Logan got it together where the top 16 of our league will be counting as silver points for top deck points.
Yeah, which is pretty unprecedented. It's there's other online events that have counted for points in the past, but never a league.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome. I mean, being able to like getting some silver points if you're in a smaller town or a place that can't significantly like launch 30 plus player tournaments, that this is like available, right, for people, and I think that's really good.
Yep, and it's just another way to compete and get some sort of points and or prizing. So we're really excited about that, and we want to thank Top Deck for working with us on that.
Yeah.
We have been a few weeks late on questions.
Oh boy!
But we've got some Adnos questions.
All right, you're gonna have to read these to us, Jordan.
Yeah, there's zero chance.
I can see many things, and words are not one of them.
Cool. Yeah, we'll read them. From Avery Bad Hair Day. Given the current meta, whether it's in your locals or in a big tourney, how would you go about trying to build an anti-meta / responsible deck nowadays, or are you just better off with the put a win on the stack mindset?
I mean, I'll go first. I think that in general, you should go with the put a win on the stack first mindset. Right now, people are playing super irresponsible, and if you can build a deck that is hyper irresponsible and puts a win on the stack first, most of the time you're just going to get there, right? Especially in large tournaments, maybe less so in like smaller tournaments. But if you want to build a responsible deck, both of us are working on something like that.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say about the anti-meta thing, I think the meta is so diverse right now that it's really, really hard to sort of pinpoint and like attack one angle of the meta.
Yeah.
Because if you attack like the Ristic study, then the players that are playing
then
Necro...
Thrasios or Necro, they just get under it.
Like, okay, like thanks for doing that job and taking care of that for me. Now I have a window to do something.
Yeah. Like silver bulleting the meta in cEDH is so much more difficult than why this conversation happens because of 60 card, right? Because like in 60 card, you can be like when Hogak was the thing in Modern, everyone was just like main decking Leyline of the Void because they're like, we just can't lose to that, right? And you just can't do that in cEDH. Like you.
Sorry, I'm allergic to Leyline.
Yeah. Like you can.
Last week.
Oh yeah, wait, shit. I'm playing Leyline. It's me.
Like you can kind of silver bullet things, especially when the meta is like so overwhelmed by certain cards. But it's a lot harder than it is in 60 card for sure.
I participated in this actively back in Snowy Summit, which is like February of this year, when it was such a heavy Ristic meta. I'm like, okay, well I can just play Glarb and then like destroy all enchantments, and then I'll sit here and just surveil until I win the game. And it worked. Like it was fine. Yeah. But that meta was so unified around those like draw engines.
Right.
It was easier then to attack those things because I didn't have to worry about all these other things that we are worrying about now. Like there was not a whole lot of Atali going around. There's not a lot of like Tim the Dargo and Necro.
Yeah, like it was all just Ristic study. And so I think like you have to have incredible foresight to like go into a tournament and be like, I know what I'm going to see here, and it is Atali and Gwenum and Blue Farm, and I think Thrasios is dead, right? Like if you have that foresight and that thought going into a tournament, then like maybe you can build something that's like this. I think it's incredibly difficult to do.
I think it's impossible right now, at least. I think the best thing you can do is if you want to play off meta, you just find another deck that has a unique strategy and you play it as selfishly as possible. And then it just attacks at a different angle slightly, but you're not necessarily stopping other decks from doing what they want to do.
Yeah, like for example, like we have a local player that plays Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
And
Celeste
it's like
Rune Knight.
Yeah, Rune Knight. And it's like, yeah, that's a known cEDH deck, but it attacks a game in a very different way than most decks, and people are just not used to it. And like, do something like that. I mean, we also just saw 2 Arkhams top 16 Fishbowl. Like that.
Well, also, like,
people are just like, what does this deck do? And you're like, yeah, you're just died. Like you died. They got 2 untaps. You're dead.
Or Rowan.
Yeah, for sure.
Rowan plays Neko, sure, but it's not objectively just a turbo deck. It's a deck that wants to do its own thing, and it doesn't really care about other decks. It just kind of does its own thing and kills you.
And kills you.
Yeah.
Like, truly kills you. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's really, really hard. It's really hard to, like, silver bullet the meta right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Sweet. Jump on next one. Basic Lich, who's a patron. With lesson cards coming back in the Avatar set and most likely Strixhaven, plus some TMNT cards that affect the sideboard, there's been speculation about whether Wizards might update the rules to actually let EDH use sideboards. How do you think they would affect cEDH for reasons?
I think Wizards makes a lot of mistakes, but I don't think they would make the mistake of giving us a sideboard.
I agree, mainly just because we're such a small niche community in said large community, and in like casual Commander, sideboards are essentially a thing already where people swap cards, right? Like, I don't think that cEDH is being catered to at all, and
that's a good point.
There's like no reason for them to be like, yeah, we're gonna have this sideboard thing. I mean, I guess maybe with like the lessons, and like there was a new Wish card in like the D&D set.
Please don't give us Wish.
But like I don't know, like sign me up for a Wish board. I think that's cool.
And then we can't have like Karn.
Yeah. Let me have it. Let me have it. No. I can be trusted for a Wish board. But realistically, also, I don't think logistically like it makes sense. It just doesn't make sense.
I agree with you in like it not making sense. I think more to the point of cEDH and focusing about it, let's look at the problems it could cause, which is like, number one, it causes a lot of confusion. It causes too many additional variables in which we're already in the highest variance Magic format, aside from Judge Tower, which is like not competitive, right? But we don't want to add more variance just for the sake of adding variance. Or adding like cool stuff. Like that's not what we need.
I just don't think it's necessary. I don't get me wrong. Like I would enjoy it as a player that wants to have a Wish board, but I don't think it's necessary for our format.
If you're building your deck correctly, the sideboard's kind of in your deck already.
Yeah.
Because if you're running a high enough density of tutors, you can tutor for what you need given the situation, given what your like deck can do. Also, you kind of pre-sideboard an event for like what we were talking about before, attacking the meta. You might change a couple cards based on like what you think you're going to see, and that sort of thing. And that's part of what we need is like we need realistic punishments and benefits for building your deck correctly. We don't need the like, oh well, you have freedom to do whatever you want because you have these 15 cards in your sideboard, right? Like you can't just you can't just show up at an event and go like, well, I don't think I'm going to encounter stacks, but in case I do, here's these 10 cards in my sideboard, and you know, then you're not being punished for building your deck in a certain way.
I mean, it's inherently like why you and Jason are both on Psych Rift over Into the Flood Maw, right? Is that you have that key piece to get you out of a stacks game if you absolutely encounter it, right? Which at Fishbowl, you guys both got put into a stacks game, right? Like
I encountered 2 different Naya Minsk decks.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
And I almost lost to the one.
Yeah.
And it's like,
stacks is real, right? Like I'm a firm believer that you are going to start seeing stacks in tournaments, and you need to find
No. We never
answers.
stopped seeing stacks in tournaments.
Oh, I haven't seen a stacks deck in a long time.
Really? I see it in like every tournament.
Other than our local.
Okay, but I see it in every tournament that we go to. I see some sort of stacks effect or something in one of my games. Like I ran into like an Elevir in one of my...
That's bananas.
And I'm like, okay.
Hey, don't play that deck. Like
his plan was...
beats.
Yes, but not a single player. He was like, "Oh, I attacked you. Now it's me.
No,
now it's your turn."
He was sharing the love, dude.
Yeah, dude.
No,
And I was like, "Oh, I'm last in this turn rotation of being hit. Great, sure."
That's funny.
I've seen way more Grafdiggers and Draniths in the
I
last
have
2
seen a
weeks.
lot of Grafdiggers. That's
Way
true.
more than recently.
Yeah.
We're gonna see stacks effects on an uptick, but we're not gonna see stacks decks. I don't think on the
Sure.
uptick.
Unless you come to Denver.
Yeah, for some reason. We have the best players in the world. We also have the most copers in the world. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Said Coper.
For
Yeah,
some
true.
reason, you guys have decided you specifically don't want me to have fun playing with you anymore. Is
Yeah,
where we're
I can't
headed.
wait to talk about that game. We'll talk about it here in a minute.
Speaking of, I think this is Josh.
Oh, is it Welder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the best way to learn your role in a game is? How do you think your role in a game changes based on seat order and pod composition?
Wait, did we already have this question?
I think we might have talked about it
That's okay.
like a month ago.
Okay.
I might have moved it on accident. I think it's worth talking about.
Uh,
It depends on the deck.
Yeah.
In my farm list, my role is the same every
Try
time.
to win the game.
Is win the game and bash your head against the wall until
Yeah.
you do. And if you can't, then guess what? You draw.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it really does depend on what seat and deck you're playing. If you're playing in seat 4, I think you're supposed to play incredibly greedy and act like all of your spells are uncounterable because they should be.
We're the only people saying this.
It's crazy. I mean, like, I know.
I've been watching YouTube content and watching cEDH players talk about this. They're like, "Oh, I'm in seat 4. I have no agency." I'm like, "No. You don't understand.
You just have to play greedy.
You're playing incorrectly."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be interacting with the table unless it's to defend your win that you're trying to put on the stack. In my opinion.
or you're trying to put a draw on the stack.
Yeah, or if you're trying to draw, right? I think that in seat 1 and 2, like if you're playing a farm list or something along those lines that is not trying to turbo deck, like not trying to turbo a win out, like you are supposed to play somewhat responsibly and drag out the game for as long as you need it to, because you need to get to your mid-range plan before the turbo deck just wins. But if you're playing a turbo deck in seat 1, then you need to win the game before the mid-range deck. Like, it's so variable. This question's impossible to answer. The best way to learn this is by losing and losing and losing and losing
and playing a variety
and
of
playing-
decks and
yeah.
variety of strategies and putting yourself in the situations you don't want to be in, which include sitting in seats 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And now I don't really dread being in seat 4. I just think it's funny sometimes when I get like seat 4 twice in a row. I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But then like I win one of those games, I'm like,
Yeah.
that feeling is great.
Yeah, I mean, winning is from seat 4. I won twice this weekend from seat 4, which felt really, really good.
Yep.
But, yeah, I think realistically it's trial and error. Like, it really is. You need to figure out what your game plan is, what decks are you playing against, right? Like, if you're the control deck, the hard control deck, then like you need to understand what your role is in that spot, and like maybe that's countering an advantage engine because you need to be the one drawing cards over other people, right? Like, I'm not saying that you need to do that guaranteed, but like,
Start considering those things and
Yeah.
also start pushing what your deck can do. If you're playing a certain way and you're like finding mixed success playing a certain way, start pushing the boundaries and going, well, should I be doing this? Because like, people say that I should, but like, is that winning me the game? Is that getting me to the result that I want?
yeah, I mean, like, for example, like in a game that's not released yet with cEDH TV, like you were playing a hard control deck.
Yep.
And counterspelled my Rhystic Study.
Yep.
And
I shouldn't have done that.
yeah, but like you are pushing the boundaries of like, hey, like what happens when I am the only one drawing cards and I'm a card control deck, which is like, that makes sense as a logical thought, and you need to see it through, and you got punished a little bit for it.
I mean,
Not
we
really,
lost
but, like,
eventually.
we lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that like realistically, it's trial and error. It's just trial and error over and over again.
Also, to be fair, in that game, we should have drawn.
Oh
But-
yeah, multiple
but, like,
times.
because it's a content game. They're like,
Yeah.
we've never drawn on the channel. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, sounds good.
I even said, I was like, if this was a tournament, I would be offering a draw so many times right now.
yeah.
I think one thought I had too while you guys were talking about fourth seat is like, I was playing a game with Hire recently, and I was in fourth seat, I think, and he was like, use your words, man. Like, your words go so much further, I think, in fourth seat, or at least they can if you're willing to leverage them.
Use your words all the time.
For sure.
It doesn't matter whether you're in a good position or not. Dude, when I'm playing a control deck and I have a handful of counter spells and I could use my words plus my counter spells that I don't actually have to cast these. Oh,
it's crazy.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. All right, let's do one more and then we'll hit another tab and then we'll come back to this a little bit after we do this next one.
Yeah, we've got Mr. Sterling here. With the upcoming November ban announcement, do you think cEDH will get caught in the crossfire, or will WotC continue balancing around standard and leave cEDH alone? What could make the meta more interesting? And alternatively, who do you think would reign supreme in a no-partner commanders tournament?
That's a lot of questions.
Okay, so first, they're not banning anything until January, right? They've openly said that they're not touching the EDH or commander ban list until January.
Yep.
I think census questions have been posted. They have released the, hey, we're thinking about banning Rhystic Study and Thoracle. Our stance here is please don't do that. We want to play powerful cards, and
there's also been the top deck survey since then, which most players, and also if you filter players, look, people hate when I bring ELO into the discussion because but it is a very legitimate way to evaluate someone's skill
for sure
and experience in the format. If you filter by like 1700 and above, the numbers like even shrink even more than they already are, which they're already low. Like people don't want them banned in our format.
I mean, Rhystic Study is like closer to like a maybe for a lot of people, and there's a lot of big names in the community that do want Rhystic banned.
Sure.
But I think like an overwhelming majority is like, please don't ban Thoracle. Like, we need to be able to win the game sometimes.
Well, and we saw at Fishbowl there were 3 Rhystic focus decks out of the top 16. And one of them is Waffle, which is expected.
Actually, realistically, I think there was only 3 Thoracles in the top 16, and they were all in Blue Farm. Is that true?
I think that's true.
Because it was Kinnins.
There were 4 farms in the top 16.
There was 4 farms. Yeah, there was 4 farms. Mm-hmm. But I don't think any other deck in the top 16 was running Thoracle.
Right. So like, what are we worried about?
Yeah, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing.
But also, like, I can see the perspective of you're going from bracket 3 or bracket 4 to cEDH, and you first learn about these incredibly powerful cards, which you're not used to.
Yeah.
You're not seeing things like Mox Amber or Mox Diamond or Mox Opal as being the real powerhouse cards. You're seeing these cards to say, oh my god, this is 2 mana, win the game.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, wow, this is incredible. And then you cheese a few wins on your friends over, your whole friend group is like learning to play. And you're like, well, this is obviously broken.
Yeah.
But then
I mean, I think this is like very apparent. Like, do you remember when like my buddy came and played with us at EG and he was playing Yuriko? And he just tried to like slam a Thoracle decon like in the middle of the game, and we're like, "That's not how this works, buddy." We're like, "Oh, we have so many ways to deal with this now." And he's like, "Oh, I thought that was just like how cEDH works." And we're like,
nothing's funnier than like it's turn 4, everyone's kind of stabilized.
There's like raw.
There's draw engines, and they're like, "Anyway, Thassa?" And everyone's like,
yeah, they're like,
and the decon, and there's like 3 missteps plus force of will plus pact backup, and you're like, interesting. Why isn't this working?
So I mean, realistically, I don't want those cards banned. In reality, I think unless we see something like super egregious, I never want a banned card in EDH again.
I think if I remember correctly, the second question was, what ways do we add or change things to make the format like different? First of all, I think the format's already in a really good spot. I think
we're seeing it,
fantastic,
right?
But
innovation has started happening, and that's exactly what this format is going to thrive on.
It will continue to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
The bans, there have been no bans since September of last year, which we're already more than a year removed from. And look at how much the format has changed from then to now.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane, right? Like, we went from when the bans happened, people were like, "Oh, TNT's back on the menu, boys."
Blue Farm,
and it's just like, and we just like played that for a little bit. We played Rhystic Slop for a little bit, for a lot of it. And then like,
and I think we're all guilty of that.
But, of course. I mean, we were probably a problem. we were the main problem here, right?
We're always going to play to the meta, but like if we're playing to the meta and my deck is changing constantly,
Yeah.
then like what problems are we having? Like I don't think there's.
Yeah.
And also, if farm is the best deck, okay, fine. Then print better cards to make other decks better.
Yep, exactly. And we're already seeing it, right? Like we're seeing this year got some incredible green cards. Like Shifting Woodlands happened. Was that this year?
No.
Or was that was last year?
MH3.
Like but that was still
That was around Nadu. Before Nadu. Like, that was
Nadu. Round when Nadu happened, right? Like we got that. We got the Nature's Rhythm.
We haven't had
Or Nature's what is that card? What's the creature tutor?
Nature's
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Like that card's incredible. We're getting Cabbage Man in a week. Like that is exactly how you shake up this format. Is you keep giving us good green stuff that the best deck in the format can't have,
or
right?
just give us
give us
good stuff that's good in other decks that isn't good in farm, or
give us like some weird thing that Arkham can use, right? Like give us
Alter the Wretched, baby.
that card's
exactly
hot.
like give us like weird
really cool.
cards, right?
Yeah.
Like give us another sacrifice that Dargo can take advantage of,
We
right?
kinda
Like
got one in Avatar. Last Agni Kai. It's a 6-mana ritual. Dargo fights a target creature.
huh?
It's a
what?
Oh, you make like an abundance of
It's
mana
red
afterwards.
and 1, and target creature fights another target creature. You create red mana equal to the excess damage.
Oh,
so
I
Dargo
did. I
fights
did
a
see this
dork
card.
and makes 6 red.
6 red.
This sounds terrible.
That's kind of sick.
You don't really want the red per se. Like if it was
For
black,
sure.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely interesting.
but also just be willing to push the boundaries of what is possible. And I think even despite me playing farm all the time, I'm always looking at other decks going, is there something interesting here? Is there something, and then what was the last question?
no partner commanders tournament. Who reigns supreme?
So we did this last year. I don't think you were around.
No, and there was also some restrictions on certain commanders too.
So we
Like
did
I think Kinnan was not
partners.
allowed.
All partners were banned, and then we banned any meta commander. So it was like Kinnan, Tivit. I think like Najila at the time was banned, and everything. And we called it the Fringe Fest. And I ended up winning with Idris.
Right.
Because I just played a 4-color pile.
Yeah, 4-color
But
good
like,
pile. Yeah.
Realistically,
like the best solo commander, I think it's obviously Kinnan, but
no, it's Brea.
unfortunately that's also probably true. I'm gonna throw my hat out there.
Farm is so fast right now. We don't need SWAT. We don't need
SWAT.
Fierce.
Yeah, that's true. It probably is just Brea.
It would be
or
excellent
like
to run Timna, sure.
Not Trad.
But yeah, it's one of the
it's one of the 4 or 5 color piles.
the soup commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll throw it out
and
there.
Kinnan.
Atraxa could be low-key a fucking sleeper.
Yeah, Atraxa is good.
Yeah.
I'm not even ashamed to say it. Like I think Atraxa is just better than TNT right now.
And fully
if you
agree.
disagree, you should check your bias.
You should come look at my list because it's real good. I won with Breach this last weekend.
I can imagine lots of TNT players. I know a lot of excellent ones, but I could pretty confidently say I think those players are relying on their skill as players, not on the strength of their deck.
Yeah, I agree.
As soon as you push yourself in a direction where you're putting more powerful cards in, like what Atraxa can do, I think that you'll take your already high win rate and push it to another level.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I just from playing the TNT version of my deck to the Atraxa version of my deck, the card changes are basically 5, and I feel like Atraxa is so significantly better. And it forces better play patterns.
It's not even that hard to cast.
No, especially when you find Tithe or Cabbage Man
which
Lotho
TNT wants to do
or,
anyway.
Like yeah. And
Those
like you can
patterns
use
aren't
that
changing.
you can use that mana more efficiently than you can in TNT, right? Like
Yeah.
TNT, your mana hands, you like start spinning Thrasios, and like that's so inefficient with a Tithe.
Hey,
and
remember
Atraxa,
we're-
I'm just like, I'm gonna try to win the game. Like,
I love Atraxa, but we're talking about this question. I think we've sufficiently answered
yeah. Sorry.
this 3-part question. Well, thanks for asking.
Yeah, I know if we could put Austin's Atraxa list in the comments. I've been asked like 5 times in the last week for people want to see it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll post it in the Discord too.
Yeah.
It was
someone asked on a YouTube
unlisted for a
comment.
little bit, so
They said, "Can Austin post his Turdo Atraxa list?"
Yeah,
they
sure.
misspelled it.
wait, what?
Turdo, and I was like, "It's Turbo."
It's the Prime Minister of Canada.
Trudeau. Jesus, it's on a boat. It's on a yacht with Katy Perry.
It's true.
You should call the deck that.
I should do that. That's very funny.
Too many steps removed. No one's gonna get that.
I'll get it, and that's all that matters, dude.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Speaking of, I mean, you can't even say off meta anymore, but non-partner commanders.
Ian he finally did his recap of Fishbowl. He talked about my Gwenum deck, and he also talked about Jason's farm deck.
Yep.
I've had a lot of questions on this deck in the last week or so, obviously for good reason.
I think it's interesting that people referring to you by your Moxfield name.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, one of the hosts of Critical EDH."
I'm like, you know me.
I'm like, just call him Austin. Like, I don't know of any other Austins in the format that are like, notable.
And also,
that,
he's known Jason for a year and a half.
Yeah,
and he's like, it's Fino, and you're like, whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, I've had a lot of questions on this deck. I'm going to continue saying this sentiment that I think this deck is not that great. I'm going to be very honest. I think that this deck is an incredible meta choice in an incredibly greedy meta, and it punished the meta, and it worked because it was a 300-person tournament. The deck is incredibly fun to play. It's a fun LobbyCon deck, and I don't know, it's fun. You get to win with Doomsday and Tendrils, right? It scratches something very, very fun in my brain, and I love it so much.
A couple things from my perspective. I first saw this deck when you were playing it. We were recording with MTG Basics, and being introduced to the deck for the first time, I was not aware of how quickly I needed to do something about what you're presenting, right? So I'm like, oh, you get one swing and we're dead, right? Like 98%
of the time,
95% of the time, yeah. There's occasions where it doesn't, but that's variance, but you've very acutely ironed out that variance as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I started going, okay, I need to respect this deck more.
Yeah.
Right. And then I keep playing against it on various gameplay channels and stuff, and that game with Wizards and Warlocks, I just went underneath you. I had two bounce spells. I had Chain and Otawara.
Yep.
And I was like, no, I'm just going to turn 2 Tithe, and unfortunately, got to play my Otawara for land for turn, and Chain's under a Chrome box.
Yeah.
You guys need to deal with this. And then just presented my own problem, and oh, I can't do anything about that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that that's what's interesting about this deck is that it is pretty much a guaranteed turn 3 push and win if it's not dealt with. And I think that's if you are
there's a huge amount of value in that though.
Yeah, if
in a tournament setting, being a guaranteed turn 3 push and win, and if you can't do anything about it, guess what? You just die.
Yeah, and especially it just punishes greedy players, right? It really punishes a greedy table, and if everyone plays greedy, then you're probably going to win if you have a high seed.
You did great all the way up until you hit top 16.
Yeah, exactly. And what happened is they didn't play greedy, and surprise, I didn't win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I ended up putting everyone's death on the stack, but that doesn't matter.
That's not good enough,
right? No, I just said, hey, this is going to be the last turn. I'm done playing this game. But if you are interested in this deck, I think it's very fun to play. Please, proxy it up.
Absolutely, I definitely recommend it. And also,
it's a blast.
You get to be that assassin at the table when you're just
Yeah. Oh, proxy it up on Mana Vault Proxies.
Oh, absolutely.
We have an affiliate link, Mana Vault Proxies /crit.
And also discount code crit.
Yeah, discount code
that'll
crit.
be in the description.
And they're also doing metal posters for our league, which we forgot to mention because there's so much. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, realistically, it's a fun deck. I don't think that this is a deck that... how do I explain this? I don't think it's just me breaking the meta by any means. I think that it was just a really good meta choice
I don't think it breaks the meta.
What I played.
It pushes the meta in a certain direction.
Yeah, for sure.
It's also really good at following and going, hey, things are really fast right now. Let's put a definitive fast deck into that mix.
Like, hey, I'm telling you that the game is over on turn 3, right? Like
sometimes turn 2.
Yeah, sometimes turn 2. Yeah, 100%.
It's definitely adds an interesting dynamic to the
for sure. I mean, that's why the deck's name is Tar Covered Dinosaur, man. Like it's a Tolly. Like it literally just says count to. This one says count to 5, and then you have to attack. And Atali says count to 7 and hope, right? And I'm less hoping and less counting, but I have to attack.
Mm-hmm.
But
remember how I said like there's a deck lurking out in the shadows somewhere, and I think it's has the potential to be good because it's like a really, really powerful casual deck. Henzi.
Yeah.
Henzi gives Gwenum haste.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Actually, I've heard that there's some brewing with Gwenum in the 99 here soon. I've seen some crazy decks out there that are like...
Well, you've definitely proved its power, right? And
exactly.
There's no secret that Bolas is incredibly powerful as well. And just having that effect.
But being able to cheat it out on a creature is like so like, oh, you can sneak attack this card. And you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like getting that for 1 mana or something along those lines. Oh, we just froze again.
Yep. We'll go. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I think I'm gonna have to replace that capture card, but
yeah,
we're back.
We're back. Yeah, I mean, like I think
getting out for 1 mana,
giving it
haste or reanimating it early. Mm-hmm. There's so many different ways to
cheat it in.
Yeah.
Like you can cheat it in way better than Bolas.
Yeah. We're already cheating in Bolas. Like it's not a.
So I'm interested to see what happens with this deck. I'm still going to play it. I have a blast playing it. I don't know if I'm going to keep taking it to tournaments.
Something I've been meaning to ask you. Is there a way to play this deck responsibly? Is there a build of this deck that is like, I'm playing Gwenum, but I'm not playing like the version where you just die, but I'm playing like a... Like, is there a way...
Like a weird stacks Gwenum or something like that?
I don't know.
Like maybe, but I don't know if that's definitely not how I would want to play this deck at all.
Right. Yeah.
I will say one thing, and I have said this, that I do think I'm putting a Leyline of the Void in the deck. There's so many times where you're like, I do not care about 4 of the cards in my hand because the LED is making me discard them. I might as well get value from 1 of them.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't fall apart to a Leyline at all, so like you might as well.
I will keep talking around this deck, but I'm playing a mono blue deck right now.
Yeah.
That is also playing a Leyline. And
I mean, as
holy shit, that feels powerful.
As the meta like speeds up, like ley lines are starting to get a little bit more. Like I'm gonna take a look at them, right? Because like
if there's room,
if the 7 of the 10 cards that I'm going to see in the game are in my opening hand, if I can get one of those for free, then like
I'd love to know the math on it as well. Because like if you're mulliganing, it's not in your first 7, you ship it back. Not that you're looking for a ley line, but like what is the math on like percent chances of if you run a ley line?
Yeah,
it's probably the same math as Gemstone, but you don't have to pitch a card or exile a card for a ley line, which is really cool.
Also, just seeing the look on your opponent's face of being like pregame. Oh, I have a pregame, and it's just Leyline of the Void, and they're just like, what?
In the game with Jordan that we're going to talk about in a little bit, I had Leyline Gemstone, and they're like, oh, we're so dead.
Wait, how does that work if you have 2? Do you like pass priority? Or do you do
just,
like all of your pre-games?
I'm pretty sure you just do all your pre-games.
Okay.
They're special game actions, I think. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. I've never seen that happen before. So that's
blue
funny.
ley lines also do something later in the game in that you can pitch them to counter spells.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
So I think the blue ones have that. Anyway, so it was cool that you and Jason both got featured on this video, and I think that's just like, hey, you know, the Critical EDH crew is showing up to these events, and we're not just like playing anymore. We're putting
doing
results down.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, realistically, like if you guys didn't see each other in round 7, we had 3 of us in that thing. You know, like like legitimate good chance of 3 of us being in top 16.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
go check out this video with Ian. He always does a really good job of covering our decks and anyone's deck, really.
He missed like 4 combos in the deck, which just makes me so happy because the deck is just filled with combos that don't look scary, and you're like, this is where you die.
He did identify some of the more obscure ones.
Yeah, like the Death Cultist, mortuary stuff. But like, he's like, oh, this Tendrils is for value, and it's like, no. That's how I'm winning games most of the time.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It was a really cool video. I'm super proud of myself for being in an Ian video now. Like,
hell yeah.
It's also fun to just make him talk about Gwenum,
I think my last one was Glarb, that I was in a video of his. So yeah, it would be nice to be on another deck.
A nice top 16 breakdown.
I think Jason was also he was in that video too, also on farm on the exact same same deck.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, he's been on the Heisenberg video.
Yeah.
He's a lot, all of them.
God.
Where has he not been?
Every single tournament he's ever played in, he's top 16. So, or it feels like it.
What's the next tab?
I got to talk to Sylvie, which was fucking awesome. Speaking of fishbowl stuff, she's both a phenomenal player and a phenomenal person. I got a lot out of that conversation. You were talking about like, one of the things I think about is different with Atraxa versus TNT is Atraxa doesn't like really give you the option of a bad play pattern of like, I guess I have value commanders.
Yeah.
So I'll just fall back on those.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And the way Sylvie talks about Timna Dargo is like, I'm mulling for Dork, maybe Timna, mana, kill people. Like it's a very aggressive interpretation of the deck, which right now in particular I think is what you have to do.
Yeah, I agree.
And doesn't rely on
Sylvie, the way she talked about the meta and what she was expecting at Fishbowl, exactly lined up. If you go watch with our video pre-Fishbowl, we're like, look, this is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see these very proactive decks. We're gonna see decks that are pushing for wins on turns 2 to 4, averaging turn 3, and that's exactly what she did. And she won the tournament. Big shocker.
I mean, most of the top 16 was that, right? Like most of us were like, we're gonna win the game on turn 3.
And I thought it was really interesting how she built her deck in a way to iron out a lot of that variance where it's like, I need stuff to cast Dargo, and that's what I need in the deck, and Dargo gets me to a win, and all the other stuff is like, yeah, those cards are powerful, but like, does it actually turn the corner and win me the game?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, yeah, what is making me win games? Like, what is my winning game state? How do I get there?
How do I get there? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she cut cards like there's no Delny, there's no Mayhem Devil, there's no J-Will, there's no Seize the Spotlight, there's no like any of these.
Still a Ranger Captain.
There is still a Ranger Captain.
The Seize is crazy to me because I feel like that card's so good in that deck.
So bad right now.
None of us
is
are
it
running
really?
it. I don't think there's anyone left running it, and there's a couple of problems with it. One is like, now that people know it's not just a stupid Dargo card, they make the right choice and they give you a creature. You don't as often get the Treasuring card anymore.
Yeah, but like, what creatures would I not want to give away?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
many
care.
people. I'm like, oh yeah, here have this Elves of Deep Shadow.
Yeah, you want my Rograg? Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for sure.
And it's also like, if you're casting 3 mana, probably make 2 treasures, draw 2 cards. Like
it's not good enough.
You don't have time.
And
that's wild.
We should be calling this format like out of time. Like there's there's not enough time or not enough space for being cute or
unless you make it, right? Unless you make it.
What?
Like unless you make that time yourself.
Oh, correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But like most of the time there's not that time to make your
time you have. If you want to like push it and create space for things, okay.
Yeah.
But like you also have to make that turn into winning the game.
One other point that Sylvie made in here that I wanted to talk about is she talks about agency in Mardu, which is something that people are of the belief that you have less of it. And she's like, the greatest agency you have in Mardu is you put a win on the stack and force a draw. Like if there's a game you know you can't win, just try to kill people. And like you always have that position and that ability. Especially in a deck like this that is so explosive.
I think like having that having that option of being like, hey guys, like looking at someone that has the Infinity Gauntlet and like looking at your other 2 opponents and being like, hey, I can put a win on the stack. Can you guys defend it and we can get a draw out of this game because we're definitely not beating that player.
Yep.
Like, I think that's incredibly useful. Also, did you hear that Europe's going away with that?
What?
You are not that, like, they're testing out a king-making rule where you are not allowed to defend someone's win to get a draw.
Oh, yeah, I did hear this.
I think that's incredibly interesting.
You also can't do it in the Japanese meta. Like,
I did know that.
I will be adamant in saying that our differences between the metas and regions of the world in cEDH is what makes the format cool.
Yeah.
Americans, we love to yap. We have draws, and we are avoiding things like king making on our own. We're sometimes using king making to force a draw, but that's part of our culture. We like to politic and yap and stuff like that. In Japan, there's decks like Semi Blue that are doing really well because they don't talk.
They don't need to talk.
And in Europe,
there's
they have
like counter
restarts, and like that's fine. You guys can do your own thing, and maybe we'll get influence from some of these things. But on the other hand, a lot of us like playing the way we do right now.
Oh, for sure.
It's great.
Yeah. And like you said, it's like it is Marduk's agency.
Yep.
Of like, if you take that option away from them, then they have less agency and less
and you're making
options,
different decks, different decks better.
Yeah.
Or this deck worse.
Yeah. But no, I think it's a really, really good point with like what Marduk can do because it can present wins on turn 3, 4, and 5. You know, like, and if you see that the tunnel's like not clear.
It's not turns 3, 4, or 5.
It's turns 3 and 5. Yeah.
4 and 5
and 6 and like every turn it's trying to jam a win.
That's the whole point.
And I think like that is nice that you have a way of like if you see that the tunnel's not clear to be like, hey, we can't let this game go on because the tunnel will only be open for that player. Like we have to close it now and get a draw out of this game.
I agree with the sentiment entirely. Yeah. I mean, that's the way I've been playing Farm. But I will have to say that if you add that fourth color, if you add blue, drawing the game or winning the game just becomes that much easier.
Oh, yeah.
And the deck is not really any less proactive because of it. So it's really interesting to hear these players, these successful players, talk about the game and what their view on it is, because while some of them have different opinions than others, we all share kind of the same sentiment right now of I optimize for winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did a really great job of that. So congrats to her.
And I am playing basically the same list and played it. I took a lot of lessons from this conversation and played it that way at locals this weekend. And Drew, I mean, that's what happened. I put wins on the stack twice, and it was like, stop me and we can draw, or no one can stop me and I win the game here, and that's fine. And then I got Alchemist retrieval, which is a thing that can happen.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like Flood Maul, but worse.
Yeah. I Nas resolved Bergie on
it's
sealed
Flood Maul
relic.
with downside.
That's funny.
It's not Flood Maul with upside. It's Flood Maul with downside.
It's meant to target your own stuff in the Clue Elf deck.
Oh.
Because it's a cleave spell that you have to remove, like do
you have to pay like 1 extra to target someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Okay.
anyway, yeah, this video was awesome. Sylvie's great. Her deck is on here. Her Mox Field for any other stuff is on here, and go check it out.
Yep. Also, if you're like up in LA, like I'm pretty sure she's playing locals like every week.
Yep.
So like go get games in with the champ, you know?
Yeah. Or both champs.
Or both champs, yeah, because Adler goes up there every once in a while. So
Jesus Christ.
We can finally talk about this. I'm so excited. You know what? I actually realized.
Do you want to jump in here, Jordan, so you can actually talk about this with Logan? Or do you just want to do...
Sure. Let's do it.
It's fine.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So we were at level 7 locals. We were both playing our normal decks. I think I was just like, man, I like can't get a win like all night. I like drew 3 games, won round 4, ended up getting like 5th or something. And at the end, while top 4 was playing, I sat down next to you and Eric, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I like play test the bird?" And like, so it's Wan Shi Tong, the control deck I've been talking about. I actually noticed that like I posted the wrong picture on this one. I actually started this game. This is the one I started with Leyline and Gemstone, but this is one of the other hands that I had, which is like absolute gas. From your perspective, what was the game like? Like, how did it start, and then how did it kind of?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, once you started Leyline Gemstone, I was like, oh, we're beyond fucked. Like, there is no way we get out of this game alive. Mm-hmm. And it was, I mean, it reads as a land go deck. What it feels like playing is, I don't get to play Magic. Like, people make jokes about blue saying no. This deck is actually, you don't get to play unless I say you get to play.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I felt like the deck plays 5 pieces of hard removal, 6 depending on how you count, and it's all like single target, like destroy this creature or bounce this creature or put the creature on top of your library or all that stuff. And your deck is like the prime target for those spells. I'm like, I think you're trying to resolve a Technomancer ETB,
yep.
And in response to the ETB, I just like bounced Dargo, and you're like, okay, like I don't have a rest of the turn because like it's essentially like I just silenced you.
Yep. Well, dude, and not only that, it was I finally cast a Technomancer after 4 turns of waiting for a Winter Moon to give me enough lands to cast the Technomancer. And then it just gets bounced, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't do anything about this. And also at that point, I think you had a Harbinger as well, so it's like, oh, now I really actually can't do anything.
Yeah, the deck. I know Austin has been advocating for like playing stacks pieces and stuff, and I think there is a secret or special sauce here, where you can play these mild stacks pieces. Like Harbinger of the Seas is a stacks piece, no doubt about it, but being able to back it up with free counterspells and protect it is so key to how this deck works. And you're playing a piece that affects everyone at the table. And ideally, you could say like, well, maybe what if I have a Smothering Tithe? I think at one point in the game you had a Tithe, and
I think it got bounced.
Yeah,
no, I actually think you just countered the Tithe.
Maybe. I know in one of the games I was playing against a Tithe, and it didn't matter because there was really nothing they could do with the mana. Yep. Like there was not. I was staring at a full grip of just counterspells, and I was like, if you play anything problematic, I'm either going to get rid of it or counter on the stack. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I will also say something just about Harbinger of the Seas. That stacks piece is like just so good because it doesn't hose the like quote unquote, hey, you're locking me out of interaction, because you're like, no, you still have your blue mana. You just have only blue mana.
Well, it hoses Atali, it hoses Timna Dargo, but it doesn't hose farm. Farm can still interact with their mana, and you're like, okay, well now I have like a control buddy. You can play control with me, right? But you can't like put a win on the stack. You can't like, you can't breach and all that stuff as easily. It's a really interesting deck, and if you look at that, Austin, can you click on that second photo? This is after I was able to get a One Ring, and Unwinding Clock, I think, was one of the big key pieces that you're like, oh, I should have done something about that. And I was like, I literally had one artifact with a clock, and then sat on it turn after turn and just played around, like just having one extra mana. And it got out of control because I'm just like drawing a card here and there. And
the Archivist text on that did way more work than I initially expected it to do, especially because you can, I don't know, Archivist to me oftentimes feels like it's not quite a dead card. Like it draws cards, it's fine, but it's an Archivist that also for some reason pitches to force if it's in the 99 or it gets bounced. You can flash it in, it punishes life totals.
I think it also got bounced at one point.
It did.
My commander got bounced, and then I was like, okay, like I can counter this, but I'm like, I don't think it's correct for me to. And they're like, oh, like, yeah, it's annoying that I'm getting hit by this thing, but like you don't care about it. So
what was funny, like looking at this board state now, is we got to the point that I think like collectively Will to Live had left the table. And
like the number one win condition is like opponent concession.
This pile of cards is basically us saying like, can you tell us how you're gonna do it? And you're like, actually, I have to like draw like 30 more cards first, and then maybe we can die. It was terrible, but not like terrible to play against. It was very, very effective. I think there's room right now for... I actually just answered a question on Reddit today from a newer player that was like, hey, I'm thinking about, deck here, 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 and here. And they were thinking about Tivit, and I was like, Esper's slow, but I do think there's room for, if you can stabilize and control a game right now, I actually think it's very well positioned.
Yeah, this is making me...
Tivit and Ishtola.
Yeah.
Ishtola is like a legit control deck.
My concerns with the Ishtola is that it doesn't have a win con in the command zone.
I agree.
And neither does this commander, which you're going to, you're adding more colors for, little benefit. Whereas Tivit gives that inevitability like you have with Atraxa. So I think that Tivit is a more real deck than people are willing to accept or experiment with. And this deck is making me want to experiment with it more. One other thing that I did was why does this guy defend Planeswalkers so well?
I was trying so hard to kill that Karn.
Yeah,
because I had Dargo out, and I was like, I can't play. That's what it was. It was Karn. I had Tithe, but there was a Karn.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't get to the Karn because there's a giant fucking bird in front of the Karn.
It was like a 7/7,
Yeah.
and he's like, Dargo just dies if I swing?
Yep.
And someone else was like, well, I'll bounce it. And I was like, okay. And then I ended up flashing in a Kitza to block, and the Karn didn't die. And Jordan's just like, okay, well, I guess I just wasted my turn again.
Yep. Well, that was the thing is we kept talking about bouncing your stuff. And that was, I think, just collectively the only answers available. I'm like, guys, there's a ley line. It doesn't matter what we bounce. It just gets cast again.
I think there's something here with the deck. Obviously, the card is incredibly good. As far as the control archetype, just mixing these little tiny light stacks pieces, I think I had Cage, I had Winter Moon, and later I had Harbinger, and just these little tiny things add up, and then it just becomes too much to deal with. And an overloaded Cyclonic Rift doesn't solve the problem because I just have counterspells.
Yeah.
And it's okay, well, then what? Then the problem with this deck is turning the corner. It's getting to the point where you can draw the cards you need to win the game, because there are combos.
Yep.
But
yeah, I mean, it's a sink in the command zone technically, I guess, if you have a way to bounce it.
Well, if you Hullbreaker it,
yeah,
right. So you Hullbreaker, you make an infinite mana. The last Hullbreaker, you bounce it, and then you go, okay, I'm going to cast this for the rest of my library, and then find my Ballista or whatever.
Sure.
I mean, it's also just an incredible Floodcaller Knack deck.
Yes. Yep.
This is the best Floodcaller Knack deck.
That was actually how I ended up winning this game.
Yeah.
I kept doing this with my One Ring, and they're like, oh, it's at 8 counters right now, and then I was like, oh, here's Banishing Knack. Found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room right now for the floor on control is, I think, very low because you can very easily punt the game 8 different ways if you interact with the wrong things at the wrong time or enable the wrong thing, whatever. But I think there's a lot of room right now for highly skilled and highly responsible control players to actually do very well in this meta, because people are sending it with either no or one piece of backup a lot of the time, and just making people have it. And if you have 7 counter spells, dog, no one's getting through that. Outside
of the cEDH TV game, which we decided that we could not draw, I have not lost a game on this deck yet, and I've played 5 games.
Yep.
I've won this game, but in all the circumstances, I'm it doesn't matter what decks I'm playing against. It feels like it's a brick wall where you can not lose. And that's not good enough to win tournaments, right? But there's something there that should be explored.
It makes me actually want to play Wrong again, honestly.
Yeah.
I think there is room for that.
Yeah, Wrong Side is largely this. I got that feeling when I was playing this deck of oh, this is the feeling I got when I was playing Wrong Side. This is the feeling I got when I was playing Glarb.
Yep.
It's just cool too. I think there's room to innovate and mess around with it, but it's going to see play in the 99 of many decks, and we should be ready for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think this card's really good in the 99.
Agreed.
Yep.
On to the next tab.
Yeah.
What is the title?
It's just a line from the show.
Okay.
So Toph is my favorite character in Avatar.
Okay.
And so when I saw this card get printed, which has like one of the most asinine pieces of text on a Magic card, which is artifacts you control are lands in addition to their other types, which is, and then Earthbend 2 as well. So I was like, before we started recording, I was explaining something that you can do with this is like, you could technically Eldritch Evolution away your land to get a 2-drop or less, and your land just comes back.
Why does it come back?
Because it becomes a creature when you Earthbend it. And then, as part of the Earthbending text, if it dies or gets exiled, it returns to the battlefield.
Oh, that's the part. Okay.
Yep. And so that's like...
There's something there.
It's like, there's weird stuff you can do. If you... So like...
I wish it were in different colors.
If this was Jund, I think it's like bonkers.
There's like Soul Tide would be kind of nuts.
Yep. But even still, like... So this deck list is just copied from... is Spooky his name? I haven't like gone in there and made tweaks for myself yet, but the fact that Candelabra untaps itself is insane. The fact that the One Ring can untap with Candelabra is insane. Codex Shredder, like Candelabra becomes this just disgusting piece of tech in this deck. I think it's interesting. I think it's going to catch a lot of people. It's going to win more games than it should because people are going to disrespect it because it's Naya.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the big question is not can it win, it's just how fast and how often and how easy is it for it to push.
Yep.
One weird thing that I've noticed about cards like Ashaya, which I don't know if that's in this list or not, it strangely gives you Psych Rift protection. Because Cyclonic Rift says non-land.
And they're all lands.
Yeah, so this could largely do a lot of the same things. And there's a lot of removal or bounce spells that say non-land.
Yeah.
I think like Floodmaw says that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to watch out for with this, because we might actually need to start running things like Deadly Relic or, like these actual hard, or Swords to Plowshares, one of these hard removal spells.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because it runs Deflecting Swat. It's also running Redirect Lightning. Mm-hmm. It has all the silence effects. It has Veil of Summer. So, like, it has some ability to protect itself.
Right.
But it is a deck that you just can't... It's in a similar way to Gwenem, I think you just can't let Toph stick around.
Yeah.
Because it's just...
Well, it's just a combo piece, like, ostensibly. It's not... Mm-hmm. It's not like a value piece necessarily. It's really like, oh, I'm playing Toph and here's my combo.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if Toph drew like any card at all in any way possible, it would be disgusting. But still, like, you could draw your decks with, or mill everyone out with Codex Shredder because you can untap Codex Shredder because it's also a land.
That's why the Lantern package is in the Bird, because first of all, I think Lantern of Insight is a incredible stacks piece that people don't realize is a stacks piece. If you play Lantern, everyone starts looking at each other's library and going, oh shit, what are you drawing for your turn? And then people start playing differently.
Yeah.
But like Codex Shredder is not a bad card.
Yeah.
It's a card that sees play in other formats, and if you can do things to break it, it's a win con. Like you can win games with it. So it's interesting.
Yeah. You did a mulligan thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
And someone was like, you just like offered options, and I was like, the answer in a hard control deck is always turn one Lantern.
Yeah.
Like, you get to look at you have unlimited information. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, and then Max P said back to that, like, well, if you just play Lantern, people are going to see what's on your library. I'm like, yeah, but no one cares what I'm drawing. Everyone knows I'm drawing another counterspell or a basic island.
Yeah.
There's nothing for them to care about. I don't care. I'll show you my whole hand. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Right? I want to know what the turbo deck's drawing. I want to know what Toph is drawing. I want to know, those things.
There's something else I was just thinking about too on that same line of like protection from Rift and stuff is like you have your Candelabra, if you Earthbend it, like if they remove it, it just comes back because it's also a land.
Oh God!
So like it gives protection to all of your pieces.
All right, we need to run Winds of Abandonment. Like,
it's interesting. The Earthbending stuff, like Lumra, I think there's that. It's maybe too much.
Counts as exile too.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Dies or exiles, comes back.
No, dude.
It's Earthbending is cracked. I think it's a lot.
It's really good.
Yeah. It's probably too much. There's a 6 mana spell that's not in here that's sacrifice half your lands.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
But
then your lands tap for 3 of any color.
Yeah, and so then your rocks are just Black Lotuses in this because all of your rocks are lands.
So one thing about that card is it's a casting cost to get rid of the sack the lands. So if you can cheat that into play, the wrong side, that's bad. If it gets countered, you're really fucked. But if you cheat it into play, then you don't have to sack your lands.
How do you? Oh, it's an enchantment.
It's an enchantment. Yeah. So I don't know.
So if you rector
or like if you like shifting woodlands it, you're like, oh, this is a ritual.
Rector
it. You could rector something like that, or like something along those lines. Like I
love when these videos turn into like live brewing sessions.
I know.
Decks.
I mean, that's what happens with a new set, though, right? Especially with like a set like this, where everyone's like, oh, there's some spice in here.
There was something with Boomy, the green-red guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy combos with a Shia. Unfortunately, he doesn't combo with anything else.
Yep.
So like if a Shia turns him into a land, you get infinite combats and you just kill everyone.
Yep.
But there's no other combo to make him a land.
That's funny.
Yeah, because it's like if a land does combat damage, untap.
Yep.
And then like only lands can do combat damage in that next combat phase.
Huh.
Is there like an artifact creature version of this deck that just does infinite combat boomy shit? Like,
I don't know.
Well, you can also turn all your artifacts into creatures anyway, because they're lands that you can earthbend and turn them into creatures, and they just stay that way.
Yeah, but you'd have to. But Boomy has to do the damage.
Yes.
So you'd have to find a way to do that.
Beginning your end step.
Yeah. So you don't you earthbend one thing at a time, but the crazy thing to me about earthbending as a mechanic is it's not till end of turn. It's just this is a creature. Yeah. This is just a thing that even fetch lands, right? Like,
it's like Chance for Glory. Like you die, but like all your stuff gains indestructible.
Yeah.
And then like if you don't die, they're just indestructible forever.
It's also interesting because like with a sack outlet, like this is kind of a ritual too.
Yeah.
Like earthbending, because you can just like sack the land that had been tapped already.
Your fetch land is a ritual, dude.
Yeah.
Just keep fetching over and over.
This is a really good example of what we're talking about making interesting things outside of the colors of like, you know, that include green but not necessarily blue or black. And I don't know how good this deck is going to be, but there's something here.
Yeah.
There's
it's got interesting text on it.
Yep.
It's probably hard to interact with.
Yeah, Naya needed a good commander. Like, Balin's sick, but the only person I know doing well with Balin is in our league, and it's really gross.
Balin's interesting. Oh, but also, like, Rocco is great.
Yeah, that's true. Rocco's cooking.
Rocco's good.
So, yeah, I'm super excited about this deck. It's yet another way I can delay playing something with blue in it.
But I think that this is exactly where Naya should be in CEDH, right? Like,
it should be doing weird and interesting things.
It being like turbo is what Naya should be doing in CEDH, right?
Agreed.
Like
there's probably some heinous stack stuff you can do with this.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
There's basically two main archetypes that I've seen people talk about it, and it's very stacks heavy or just like a turbo toff win game.
Well, because stacks, like, unless it's a bounce spell, they're not getting rid of it because it just keeps coming back.
Yep. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing this. I know Evan, our local here, is the one who started the Discord, so he's definitely like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's super into it.
We'll try to link the Discord in the description of this. So go check that out.
Yeah.
This is gameplay footage with Wizards and Warlocks.
If you want to see Logan York it on YouTube,
Jork it
play with his food for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
You actively hear me in the game being like, please kill me with a Thoracle. And you're like, all right, breach it is.
It's funny, I cast the breach and then it literally did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I just cast the breach.
Yeah.
This gameplay was awesome with them. They did such a good job of recording, and I know that they Big Guava Games edited it or something like that.
Yeah, it's the pinned comment in the video.
But the editing is great, and we're hoping to record with them again soon. These guys are so fun to play with, and you can play with them in our league.
Yeah. It's also it's a very fun video to watch. You get to watch Austin get blown out twice, and yeah.
Oh, the second game, dude. I kept responsible hands for Austin in both games. in the first one I had Otawara and Chain, and those ended up being used in other ways. In the second game, I looked at my hand. I was like, oh, this is like a 7, and also there's a subtlety in my hand. So
oh yeah, I do get subtlety in this game.
You're like, what, bro?
I'm like, come on, bro, subtlety?
Yeah, it's
so funny to me. I think it's the second comment below the pinned one of the editor. Someone is like, the fact that Logan pitched his Chain and his Flood mod and said deal with it is the most despicable thing.
First seat things, right?
Yep. But yeah, it's a great video.
Yeah. Oh, good. You're still here to talk
yeah.
about this. I don't know what all this is, but this is something that we've been doing, which is like showing an opening 7. I'm lazy about it, and I use Moxfield, but you're showing off your very pretty deck, so props to you. But Pontus commented on this, and you were very surprised.
So one of my favorite things about doing these for Timid Dargo specifically is I've gotten a lot of comments that are like, I have no fucking clue, but I guess I'll keep it for reasons.
Yeah.
Because it's like dorks that don't make mana and tutor, but that wins the game on turn 2 if you like kind of know what you're looking for. But Pontus commented on this with something I could not have possibly imagined.
Can you walk me through what that is?
Yeah, so I was looking at this as a turn 2 Necro hand because you vamp for Dark Writ and cast Necro.
Sure.
And Pontus looked at it as, let me actually look at the cards again. So, yeah, he read it as get either cast Vault on turn 1 or hold up Vamp. And then you upkeep Vamp for LED, play land, cast LED, gamble, crack LED for triple white, find Savines and flash it back, getting Necro and LED back, pay 37 life and end step, crack LED in response, and hope that you hit Final Fortune or Chance for Glory.
Holy
what a line.
Shit.
What a line.
Yeah.
I am not
I wouldn't have seen that line.
I'm not nearly that experienced at the game in order to put that together.
It's disgusting. And also, like, you have one shot in that.
But like,
I mean, odds
you're basically
are on
saying
37
50.
life.
Yeah, but like that's like reverse oracling in other decks, right? Like you take the chance there because what does it matter if you?
It doesn't.
But
it was really cool to see. Like, obviously, he's kind of known as the Turbo Tim Dargo guy.
We experienced this.
Oh yeah, you guys
in
just
other
played
decks.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And it's crazy to see someone play a deck that most people, at least until the last couple of months, looked at as like a parasitic mid-range deck, and he's like, I'm gonna jam up here on turn 1 or 2, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah. In our gameplay, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I'm playing politics because I'm playing the bird, and I'm like, what are you doing with your commander? Because I see like you can double cast spells and all this stuff, and he's like, well, I have like 2 mana and I have like a red blast, and I'm looking at my all blue hand, my all blue field. I was like, I've heard what I need to hear. Like you cannot have a double red blast. I'm sorry, but I mean, just even though like I temporarily blew him out, he was never out of the game because he sees the game in such a way that like,
dude, his turn 1 in that game was bananas. Do you remember it?
No.
He 50-50 gambles for a Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah.
On turn 1, dude. It's so sick.
I wish I just had the cojones to do that.
Dude,
regularly.
like literally just like he literally has 1 card in hand, gambles. And
he's like, I kept that questionable hand, but here we go. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, looks like it worked out in my favor. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah.
Yeah, completely blows me out because I'm in C4. I sit there, do nothing that whole game.
Yeah.
He's also someone that like, so I'm on Grinding Station and Pitiless Plunderer right now, which is not 2 cards that no one else is really on.
Okay.
One, because I think Grinding Station, just early Breach line, is probably pretty good. Also has a weird overlap with Plunderer where maybe there's times where I don't care about the treasures, but I do care about the mill.
Sure.
And most people have been doubtful, and Pontus actually tweeted back to me, not on this one, but in this thread, like, regrinding Station, I do think it's worth thinking about, and here's why or whatever. Like, he's just very open-minded and very thinks about the game in a way that not a lot of people do, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, and after interacting with him not a whole lot, but like starting to interact with him more and seeing the way he comments on things. I'm like, I need to pay attention to what this person's saying, because even if I don't necessarily agree, it's providing a perspective that I'm like, this is scratching a part of my brain that like doesn't get scratched.
Yep. By
just being like, oh, I cast turn 2 Necro.
Sure.
It's I love seeing this stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think our last tab is more questions.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Squatches Pop, which is a local of ours.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Local Krark player.
Yeah, local Krark player. His comment or his question is, I think it's a slippery slope towards destroying the social contract that comes with 4-player, as well as the socialization aspect / politicking. I could do without politicking personally. However, I think it has its uses. If we say, okay, sometimes people lie, and that's just how it goes, no one will have any reason to trust anyone, since any deal is subject to being broken for any reason at all. I think normalizing lying encourages folks to be more cutthroat, not just at tourneys, but also at their typical weeklies and local F&M. You now have a world where everyone is potentially a liar, and spite plays become more attractive. At the end of it all, we're playing a game. Not just that, but we're shuffling up to play the most social format that we have, besides Cube, for this game. So I believe that normalizing lying only serves to make toxic players more toxic and quality games to disappear. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think there's a lot of contradictions in what was said. Lying is pretty normal whether you like it or not, right? Like just in cEDH. I think it happens all the time. I think people lie by omission a lot. They also will say like, I don't have a way to deal with this, but like they have a 3-step way that they could deal with it. But what they mean is like, I don't have the card that I need in my hand, but like I could go tutor for it, and then I have to like draw the card from the top of my deck, and then I can cast it. But like, I think people lie all the time, and it doesn't inherently make the game toxic, but it's part of what we have to deal with. It's part of evaluating your opponents and learning their play patterns. And over time, like Jordan and I have played games together, I know that he's not a liar, and like I don't think I would be called a liar either, but we're both very difficult players to play against. And that's because we're like cagey about our information, or sometimes I'm showing you something in hopes of deceiving you and saying like, look, I don't have anything in my hand, but like also don't look at my board, like don't look at this, like look at this stuff that I don't have. I think there's just so many different ways you can evaluate these like things, and there's definitely ways you can frame these things in a negative way. I think overall lying is not like a positive thing for our format, but it is just part of it, and we have to deal with it.
I think it's just something people should be prepared for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that this came up in our Discord recently. Like there was a discussion around lying and like the importance or perceived importance of it in either direction. Like is it important that it stays away, or like some players believe that it's important that they're able to do it. And my stance on lying is that like you have a choice as to who you are known as in this world of cEDH.
Yep.
And if you believe that the benefit you get from lying is worth more to you than the weight that comes with being perceived as a liar in the format, then like I think that's fine. It's not a choice I'm going to make, but that is a choice that can be made.
I was asking, I think we're talking about the same person. It doesn't matter who it is, but I was asking them, I said, is it important to you to lie? Like I would start asking yourself the question of why do you find it so important to lie? Like, is that the only way that you think that you can win? Because for me, that's so far down on the list of things that I can do to push myself towards a win that like it doesn't come up that often. Not to say that it's like not a tool that I could use potentially, but it's not one that I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't lied into this game. Like now I can lie. Like this is my way forward. I need to lie in order to get out of this situation. Like I just try not to put myself in those situations. But I was asking this player, I'm like why is that the first thing you go to?
Yep.
Like what is that really what you want? like I think there's other skills you could work on maybe instead of doing that.
For sure. Yeah, I was just playing a game with Papa Squats.
Known liar, Papa Squat. No, I'm just kidding. He's not at all. He's the opposite of that. Which is why Austin's laughing. Yeah. He's like dying because it's not true.
No, in that game, his turn 2 Necro got absolutely blown out. But so I'm in seat 4, and I get Resolve and Oz, and seat 3, I think it was Tivit, Tutors for a Silence. And I'm like, look, you know how this deck works. I cannot beat a Silence.
Right.
I'm the Nas Resolve. No one has anything for it. We've already established this. I am not going to win on my turn. I'm going to take game actions. If at any point you decide that I'm too scary, you have a Silence. Yeah, it's fine.
Exactly.
So I get Bergie on board, Relic on board, Dargo on board, gamble for Emergent Zone, pass.
Yep.
And it's like every single thing of that was true. I at no point lied, and I put myself to be in a very vulnerable position of them being able to decide what I was allowed to get away with. But you need to be able to look for ways to navigate these situations. Something I try to do is navigate the situation to the best outcome I have available to me, while staying true to what is important to me as a player, which is be kind, be respectful, be as truthful as I can be. But I'm also trying to win.
Of course. And also, I think if I were that Tivit player, I don't know who that Tivit player was, but I would be looking at that situation and saying, like, should I have silenced anyway? Maybe I should have. Yeah. Like, because it's correct. Like, you put yourself in a really good spot, but also, like, maybe that Tivit wins the game or controls the game better because I'm like, no, I'm going to silence you because you have a Necro. Like, you're getting time walked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's a lesson you can learn and, like, put in the back pocket for later. So that's, like, now a decision you can make instead of saying, well, no, Jordan lied to me, which is not the case.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of deflecting or like, let's say, coping, let's start looking at what could I have done differently or how could I have evaluated that situation differently. Now I know the limits of what your deck can do and, like, oh, well, actually there is a way that he can set up and play around it.
Yep.
Then, I start to evaluate that situation a little differently.
Well, and let's be clear, neither he or I won that game.
Oh, dang.
So, no, we lost to seat 1 after we blew our loads trying to fight each other on things.
Yep.
So,
but I mean, it's interesting. I think I don't have such a negative opinion of our format and the way things are right now. I think that there are things like lying that can potentially push things in a negative direction, but you have to, like, allow them to push it in that direction. And this is kind of what I was trying to tell Austin, and even what Austin reiterated today was, well, if I'm not putting myself in a position to get lied to in a way that really matters, is it really that negative? Not really. And you can't always put yourself in that position, but at least if you try, you can minimize the impact.
I think the Colin tweeted recently, like, just general surveys, like, do you play better against experienced or inexperienced players, and why do you think that's the case? And I bring this tweet up as an example of, like, some of the discussion around the inexperienced players was, like, the manipulatability of inexperienced players in either direction, right? Like, they can be convinced to do things to you that are, like, definitely not correct.
Yeah.
And you can also
that's my next level. My next level up. I'm gonna figure out how to install brain worms in the other player. I can't do it. I don't know how the certain players do it. Yep. I think Jason's really good at doing it.
Yep.
He does it without he does it without saying anything to anyone, which is crazy to me.
Yep.
But yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I agree. But my biggest concern with lying is the on-ramp to newer players into the format. Because I think if you don't know what you're getting into and you get taken advantage of in that way, that can be a profoundly negative experience, when I think that 95% of games are not going to unfold that way. But if that's what you get started with, that can be a tough go.
Yeah. There's so many roadblocks that new players have into this format, and I don't like to gatekeep the format. I like to invite people and try to involve people. If you ever played with me or seen me around at, like, the local store, I'm the person that has 10 decks with me and always like, oh, you want to play cEDH, or have you played the format before? I mean, I've asked people at this store, which is a new store, and people I don't recognize. I'm like, hey, you guys playing cEDH tonight? Because, like, there's 30 of us that are, and it'd be great if we had more people. We had 32. That's like a nice nice number. But there's just so many issues. Like lying could be one of them. The fact that players want to win games is like another one, strangely.
Yeah.
Because in casual, people are very adverse to that.
Yep.
And that's weird. I mean, I think we've all experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have to find ways to minimize these things. And I think a lot of it's just perspective. It's not...
Yeah, it's perspective. It's, creators or representations of the format that...
Hey, that's us.
I went to Game Heroes today, and he was like, hey, I know you.
No way, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was really cool. It was also really weird. But
Yeah.
it's that opportunity.
We'll get more of that.
Yeah, but it's an opportunity, right? Like, I think we've talked about this ad nauseum, bad joke, recently, but the more visibility the format has, the more games that get live streamed, the more stuff gets recorded, all that, like, the bad eggs will be seen very quickly.
Yeah.
And that is what it is.
Yep.
There was kind of a response, and I'm just going to sum it up, but basically they connected like lying to deals and people going back on deals. And if you should just like 100% trust people, because usually when people offer a deal to you, they're offering it as like a 51-49 in their favor. And is that scummy as well? Or basically their main problem with like thinking that they're like better than others is because they're always truthful, and like, is that something that we have a problem with?
I don't think people should delude themselves into thinking that their opponents aren't trying to win the game at every single point of the game. So, like, I know from a baseline perspective that if someone's offering me a deal, that they benefit from it in some way. So, like, why would I ever try to convince myself otherwise? Maybe I can try to convince someone of making a bad deal, right? But that's, like, something that's coming from me to them, right? So... But if someone's talking to me and saying like, well, hey, if you don't do this, then I can do this and maybe we'll last like a little longer. And I look at you try to like evaluate the board state, you try to evaluate the terms and explore the possibilities of, well, what is the future if they lie about this? Or what is the future if they just like straight up benefit from it somehow? I don't know. It's just kind of, I think we have to like reset our baseline and be like, no, our opponents are trying to win. Just as much as we are.
Agreed.
And I think that, like, the first game I ever played with Waffle was definitely as he's known for, a 51-49, where I was like, oh, this is the nicest guy in the world. He's helping me.
He is the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, he is, right? But I wasn't until much later. It was actually Austin who was the one who told me. He's like, yeah, you got got by that, didn't you? I'm like, yes, I did. But
Waffle's a casino, man. He's a casino, dude. You can take that bet every once in a while, but if you keep taking it, then he's winning.
Lose. Well, dude, I had a situation at Fishbowl where, just to clarify, like deals and draws and lies and whatever, like I think that the vast majority of the responsibility is on me to be crystal clear about what is happening.
Yeah.
Because just as I am trying to win, the other players are trying to win, and people are going to look for ways to create situations where they come out winning that game. And if I am not absolutely crystal clear on the circumstances of the deal that I'm engaging in, I'm the one who's going to get got, and that's my fault.
I think the politics have also become a lot shorter and more to the point recently because the format's speeding up and because people are like, well, there's a win on the stack. Like, what is there to politic about? You either stop me or you don't, and if somebody else can stop me, then it's like, okay, we can talk about a draw. But when we get into these like really heavy mid-range games, like the longer games, longer turns, and this is what I'm worried about with like cards being banned and stuff, where the game like slows down to a point where all it is, well, he said this and he said he wouldn't do this, and then the game states change so much because now there's like 30 Smothering Tithe treasures on the board, and this person has 15 more cards in their hand, and like it just gets too complicated. And then that's not like, we don't want to be in that slop. We don't want to be in that mess. We've been in that before. I think we should just try to avoid that, because then the politics become more clear, the deals become shorter and more concise and all that stuff.
I'm getting asked a lot less, like, hey, are you winning on your turn?
Yeah,
I am indeed going to try to win, and so are you, buddy. So, let's not pretend that this matters.
Right, exactly. Did I say anything of note there, or was it just drivel?
It just said, hey, I'm moving this to next week.
Oh, okay.
Captain Moral Support asked, kind of just following up, like, how do you get forced draws accepted when you explain every way we lose and people still think they can win?
I just had this happen at not the most recent 1K at EG, but the 1K before that.
Okay.
Where there was, I think I've talked about it before actually on here, but there was a newer player, not new to Magic, but new to cEDH, and Sterling had a win on the stack, and I had a Mayhem Devil that circumstances were like, this is a draw.
Okay.
There's 3 Ranger Captains.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Mayhem Devil. There's a Grand
You guys
Abolisher.
slopped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And the newer player was like, well, but why is it a draw? Like,
oh, yeah.
I think I can win, or I think he's winning right now. And it's like, because none of us want to lose, I will guarantee that this person wins so that you don't get the chance to win.
Yes.
And so the forced draw situation is harder to understand, I think, at the beginning.
I think the bigger question, or what Captain Moral Support was asking was, like, you're explaining to someone how they lose, and you're, like, trying to convince them that, like, no, if you don't counter this, like, we just lose. And that's way harder to convince them, because I think you described a situation in which, like, you're trying to explain a draw to someone, like, why the game would come to a draw. I had the same situation in Fishbowl. We had a player who sat down and said, full credit to them. They did extremely well, and they're absolutely controlling the game. But they sat down and said, well, hey, like, this is my first big tournament. And we're like, okay. And next to them is Bad Dog. Next to me is Z from Utah. and it's me. And we're all like, okay, first of all, you seem like a nice guy. Like, don't sit down and say that.
Yeah.
And also, in the middle of the game, you know, things are getting tense, and we're all using our resources to stop him because he's just so far ahead. And he's like, I feel like I'm being targeted by you guys. I'm like, first of all, that's correct. Second of all, like, we're trying to stop you from winning because none of us can win. And I think the only path out of it is a draw. But, like, I was like, have you heard of the Invitational? And he's like, yeah, I've heard people talk about it. I was like, okay, all of us were there. And he's like, what? And I'm like, we all played in 50 tournaments on average that year to make it to the top 64 of the U.S. Yep. And we all played in that game, or, you know, in that tournament. And just, like, you know, trying to explain to him to that, like, trying to explain that to him in the game is not really something that you can get across. But it is hard to have those conversations with someone because you're like, there's not an outcome that you like from this game. And this comes from, like, a casual mindset where people want the outcome that they want. And if they don't get it, then they're like, well, you're targeting me, or there's just, like, they don't really understand. And, like, that just comes with time. And sometimes you lose those games because you can't convince someone of the thing that you need to convince them of. And you could be the most persuasive person in the world. You could be Barack Obama, and it doesn't matter because, like, they're just like, well, screw you. It doesn't matter. You know, they don't like the way that your hair looks that day or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the reasons that people get attracted to this format is I ultimately think there's way less spite playing. Like, but it feels like it's spite playing when you're new and you're in the middle of getting blown out. But it's like
or you're putting a win on the stack and 3 people have interaction for you, and it's like, well, why are you interacting with me? It's like, well, because you're winning.
Yeah, we're all here to win or not lose, at least, and that's
like the one thing I said to that guy was, I was like, dude, you are up against 3 professional non-losers. Like, all of us struggle to win games. Like, if you look at my win rate, I have like a 30% win rate or something like that, which is above average, is above the expected 25%. But it's not that much. It's not Jason's, like, 48% or whatever the fuck. It's
so
just
gross,
disgusting.
dude. Yeah.
And, like, but that said, I'm really good at not losing the game.
Yep.
And so, like, if I can find an avenue to not lose, great. Like, but you're just, like, not ready for that in casual, because in casual you don't have the tools. There's not, the games go on for 3 hours, and you run out of pizza and beer, and people are like tired, and they're like, okay, you just like swing at me with Crater Hoof, and like we all die, like okay.
Yeah. You also have to be willing to kind of, in jiu-jitsu we talk about it as like fifth gear. Like it's very different to just go to open mat and train with the people and roll around.
Sure.
And like, yeah, sometimes you have really hard matches and you look forward to those. But tournament's completely different. Like tournament, you stand up from the match and like your lips are blue because you don't have oxygen left because you went to like places
you gave
your body's,
everything.
Not supposed to go. And in cEDH, but specifically once you start competing in these large tournaments, it's like people are gonna exile their entire library to decon just to stop you before they're gonna lose.
Yep.
And you just have to accept that that's what you're entering.
Some people decon for an LED for some reason. It's like,
Every time.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You take it to another level because the ultimate price is, well, I don't get my tournament entry back, or I don't get my points for the top deck season, or I don't get my, I'm going to tank ELO, if people care about that, or I'm going to be seen by my peers as like, well, you lost this game, you should at least draw on the game. Or there's so many reasons, especially in a tournament where, I went to Fishbowl. I'm like, okay, losing is not an option. If I lose a game, like something's gone horribly wrong, and I lost one game, and like shit went bad. But it was another situation of where there's a player that also sat down into a pod with Julian, which is like he was first in Swiss, and also in the Invitational, Zach Adler, this other player, and me. And I'm like, don't sit down to this pod and then like try to out politic people that are. It's not going to end like I think what you try to do is you sit down in a pod like that and you go like, okay, what can I learn from this situation? Like I start like watching, start observing, and you can participate, of course, but these situations where you have to convince someone, sometimes you just can't, and you just lose the game or you just draw the game. And if you're in a Swiss of a tournament, then there's probably the next round or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a question from Hazen, the boy.
Oh.
What are some mechanics that you find might be underexplored in our format? Example, I've been thinking a lot about the power of exiling pieces through a few different effects. Could Sire of Stagnation be gas in a list that can cheat it out for cheap? Is Rest in Peace a strong enough piece in Bant minus lists that don't use their graveyard? I think the Exile Zone could be a strong way to power up control lists.
I lost my win in at EG at the last 1K to a fucking Valky.
Oh my god.
So yes, I think the Exile Zone is...
What did it turn into?
I tutored...
Or just picked a pizza that you couldn't...
I tutored for Techno, and next turn Valky comes down and Techno gets exiled.
Woof.
That's gas.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, I had turn 2 or turn 3 win, and then it was just... like that game was over.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's underexplored, or that is a underexplored mechanic of several, I'm sure.
I think lands are largely underexplored thing, especially like we see Lumra, and Lumra has varying degrees of success, and like Wandering Minstrel is okay as a lands deck, but I mean, when I play Thrasios Kodama, I'm like, God, lands are so stupid because okay, I get stopped. I untap with 12 lands on turn 4 or turn 3, and people are like, what do you do against that? Like, no one's running mass land destruction, so maybe that's like an underexplored thing. And we're just talking about TOF, where you turn your shit into lands. Like that's broken.
Yeah, dude. Lands is definitely one. Like, I don't know. I don't think he's any good, but Zuko is like definitely an Exile Matters commander.
Okay.
It's like whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a 1/1 counter on all your creatures, and then when he attacks, he has firebending equal to his power. So he gets very big very quickly is kind of the end of the story. But even like Obnix is like very powerful exile commander that you don't see a ton of.
That was the game I was talking about, Bad Dog and Z. The player was playing Obnixilus, and we all mulliganed low. And then he just like exploded out of the gate. Like he had everything. He had Cataract Parasite and Prosper and Obnix, and we're just like, we're so dead. Yeah. And me and Z just had like Remora. So like every time we drew a card, he would, we'd lose a life. He'd flip another card, and then he'd play it from exile as Prosper, and just like kept going. And yeah, there's definitely power there. Exile Zone is interesting. I think it's like overall pretty hard to use, but if you're using it like that, it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, dude. I just had another. What was I thinking about for Underexplored? Oh, I mean, like, I think just these weird creature combo decks are still kind of unexplored. Like, the fact that we're seeing Rocco do well, Tim Dargo do well, like...
Jund Dargo.
Dude, soon, right?
I picked up that deck once, and it was in the airport on the way home from Fishbowl, and the two Fort Collins guys and Jason were there, and Jason hands it to me. I pull up my hand, I look at 7, and I was like, oh, interesting. Turn 1, Greater Good. Turn 2, Dargo. Rip Dargo, and I'm like, oh, draw 7 is just a win on turn 2. I'm like, God, there's something, there's something here.
I'm a firm believer of that deck. I think that deck is gas.
Well, white's not what makes Dargo powerful.
No, the silences are nice, but it's black and Dargo.
Yeah, and I even played the Rakdos Dargo, and like that deck is, you'll see on Basics this week. You'll see me rip a turn 3 win on that deck.
Yeah. I don't know. Even like last point I'll make on this is I think something that's underexplored is actually like maybe a hot take, but is the commander specific stuff, because we've been in this realm of TNT and TNK for so long,
and like no bad cards.
And Roxai and no bad cards Kinnan, where like now we're seeing Big Flips Kinnan is good again. Or these versions of Big Flips Kinnan are good again. Like Atraxa is good again. All of these decks.
Rocco's okay.
Yeah.
Marnius is doing fine.
I've been watching a lot of pre-modern content, and some of the combos that they do in pre-modern I think are stuff that we should maybe take note of, because like Alurin is an insane card that is not seeing play at all in cEDH, but maybe should be.
Alurin and Acerak.
Like, yeah. It's crazy.
I don't know what these cards are.
Alurin is a 4-mana card that says enemy player may cast creature spells, 3 or less?
No. I think it's 4 or less.
I think it's 3 or less. It's a 4-mana
I can look it
enchantment.
up.
It's like 2 green or something.
Yeah.
Any player may cast creatures 3 or less for free at flash speed.
Any player, not just that player.
But if you have Acerak,
it's 3
you
or
just
less.
bounce on it crazy style, and you never you just like cast it over again, and you just keep going through the dungeon and kill everyone.
So like Alurin is something that I have been looking at, and I'm like, ooh, if there was a way to just like guarantee myself an Alurin in every game, like that's interesting to me. I've also been looking at Dream Halls, because that card's really dumb.
There's a Shrieking Drake combo deck out there that's like not seeing play.
Yeah,
and like that card's broken.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that we as like cEDH players have just like, since it's not part of our thing, like we don't look at it anymore.
I'm gonna
I think that there's a possibility.
I'm gonna make a really hot take right now.
Yeah.
There's a card that does not see play because overall it's really bad. Especially when Thrasios is in the format. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Intruder Alarm is exceedingly bad.
Yeah, that card's dumb.
Okay. It might be okay right now.
Yeah, I agree. Intruder, I mean, it's stuff like that I think is really underexplored. Like old combos.
Yes.
That you were like, oh, hey, like this is old vintage combo. That is like not good enough in vintage anymore, but we're like, oh,
or like the Oops deck, like
I'm a firm believer that Oops deck. By the way, it is a turn 2 win 90% of the time.
Yeah,
the Oops deck is like legitimately really.
It's a turn 2 attempt.
Yeah.
It's a turn 2 win if you're goldfishing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's only going to get better with more MDFCs, which is inevitable in my opinion.
You're exactly correct with like assessing these. I mean, we're pretty far removed from the core of what Magic is, but we're still playing the same cards, and like that's why I'm like playing around with like Lantern Control and stuff, because that was a very real deck for a very long period of time, and even now it can do some stuff sometimes. But if you look at the like Ristic Studies video about Lantern, or was it Ristic Studies or the I can't remember if it was Hungry on Plane or Ristic
Not
Studies,
sure.
but one of those channels was talking about Lantern, and they're like, they weren't playing Magic anymore. Like, you were playing a different game, and once you had assembled the lock, then that's it. Like, there's nothing for you to do. It is deterministic, even though it is non-deterministic. And
yeah. And it's also like when you're playing some of this like fringe type of things, people just like don't know what the interaction points are, right? Like the Brewer's Advantage is real when you're playing some of these cards. Specifically, like I said, I've been really thinking about playing. I think it's going to end up being a LobbyCon deck, but like a Master of Keys Dream Halls deck that is only blue cards that I can just full storm through my whole deck.
Weren't you talking about Hogak too?
I think Hogak in general should be seeing way more play in our format. That card's dumb, right? Like, and it started getting inserted into the Oops deck, and it's really, really good in that deck. I think that there's just a lot of stuff that since it's not like part of the zeitgeist of cEDH, that can be explored a lot.
Yeah, I don't think semi-blue is necessarily... I mean, we've talked at length about how it's not the next big thing, but I think there is something to that general idea of just like, whether it's the Zuldox of the world or these kind of like never-end... Like, it's just so much shit you can't deal with it all. Gyruda did really well in our league for that reason. Like, the Bant-Aang is interesting for the same reason. Like, there is room for that as well.
Mm-hmm. We talked earlier about how there's not a lot of space for some of these things to exist because of the speed, but because things are going faster, there's like fewer counter spells. So if these things can exist within a reasonable amount of time, like turns... allergic to losing. Turns like 1 to 3, right? Like if you can start assembling your combo or what your deck wants to do in those turns, there's actually like more freedom because you're not in the Ristic slot meta where you just like have to cast stuff or you get counterspelled or silenced or whatever. If you can do the thing you want to do fast, okay, like it doesn't matter. You're winning as fast as everyone else. It doesn't matter how you win. It just matters that you are doing the thing in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brewer's Advantage is probably better now than it's ever been.
It's really cool, and I just feel so sorry for people that don't see it that way, and people that are like, oh well, Ristic is such a problem, and like maybe it is in your local meta, but like I really don't. Oh, we froze again.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yep, and then. Or even like the Tymna conversation. It's like ban Tymna. It's like then you make how many decks unplayable that aren't blue that like otherwise have a reasonable floor. Like that doesn't help either.
No, it really doesn't. We just need more interesting cards. I think there's probably like a Tassiger deck out there that is doing something worthwhile and
Tasker has been criminally underplayed because ever since Hazel's, like, people have not been exploring Tassiger because it's an old head deck, right?
Yeah.
But, like, that deck got incredibly good when Hazel's Brewmaster got printed because you actually have a birthing pod line now. And,
so, like, why don't I have one in my backpack? Like, why,
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, why aren't we playing it just to see what it does?
We do have one local on Tassiger.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Question?
I played him, Jason. I played him here probably a month ago.
Oh,
That's gas. I really like Tasker. I like Soul Tie Piles, and like,
yeah,
I think that the fact that deck can birthing pod into something very, very, very dangerous most of the time is awesome.
Pod stuff in general, actually, I think is ripe for a comeback, and we're kind of already seeing it with like the Pyre of Hero stuff and other pod lines.
Agreed.
I'm slowly changing my opinion on Glarb again. I think it was too slow for a while. Now, if you mulligan for interaction, it's fine. Like,
yeah, you just need to get out of that turn 2, right? Like,
yeah, as soon as you get past that, you're like, oh, I'm chilling. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And you guys are all hosed. You don't have anything. And, like, I'm just going to sit here and grind. Oh, yeah, by the way, here's a Culling Ritual. Here's
Culling Ritual is so good.
Here's a protected Culling Ritual, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that kind of stuff. And you can assemble those things. Man, like, I love the freedom where we're at right now. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing Farm because like I still think it's the best. I think it's the the way to like win for me, and like the way I can put the most like wins on the stack and win the most games. But when I'm not playing farm, I'm messing around with stuff. I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm brewing a hot piece of trash deck, so we'll see how it works out.
But it might not be as trash as you think, because like
No.
if it still can do the thing fast enough, or it can attack in a unique way or whatever, like it's probably fine.
Turn 1 Nether Void is in fact fast enough, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I've like mulliganed that deck, and I saw 6 lands and a turn 1 Nether Void, and I was like, "Yep, I'm keeping it."
He's talking about Tavesh Rograk stacks. And this is a deck like I started playing cEDH, and this is very early on one of the decks I played. I played a little bit of the Stacks archetype. I played a lot against the Stacks archetype because our local judge Jay actually played it a lot.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I cannot imagine Jay playing Stacks for some reason.
It is gross. It is disgusting to go up against a player that skilled on a deck that just says no to everything. It's really, really annoying.
True. The deck really does say no to everything.
And then I played a mid-range version of that deck that was really, really fast and did dockside loops and stuff. And then, of course, that, we know what happened with that.
I'm a firm believer that this deck is like, it's a meta silver bullet right now, specifically, because you can just turbo out a Stacks piece, and most people can't get through it right now.
Yeah.
But
like a God Pharaoh statue on turn 2 or turn 1.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Or just like a turn 1 Trinisphere, like, which is not abnormal in the deck. It's just like, get actually fucked.
There might be room for Shorikai again.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a deck like Grand Arbiter. Like no one's messing around with that.
It hurts my soul.
If you resolve Grand Arbiter, dude, it's really hard to get through that.
It's so funny that like our league in some way single-handedly made the meta faster, and now here we are talking about slowing it down just enough to be...
Yeah, but so here's the thing, is that these are the exact same conversations that we were having before the league started, right? Is like, hey, like, how do we get out of this meta?
Yeah.
Like, and I think this is like nice for people to be privy to that exact statement of being like, how do we have the foresight to get out of this turbo meta, and like what do we think is the answer to it, right? And I mean,
we need to not get out of the current meta, because I think that things are actually really healthy right now.
Sure, yeah.
We need to have some sort of like, there's a very real chance that I could get tripped up with this sort of thing. So you need you need to like a way where people are just like, they tone their turbo decks down just like another like 10%. Like we're still playing as fast as we are, right? But like maybe
but I need an answer for people's answers.
I shouldn't have the freedom to put Rograk in farm, right? Like that should be
true.
That should be something else.
You
right?
shouldn't have the freedom to cut Mindbreak Trap and Ranger Captain
and Obium and like right. A meta in which I'm still playing turbo farm is fine, but like to me, I feel like there's no punishment for me doing any of those things right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
and like there should be like a little bit. So, yeah. You have another short one we can.
This one says, we know Cabbage Merchant and Wang Shitong Librarian are potential shoo-ins for cEDH. Do you think there's anything cEDH viable with new bending mechanics coming out with Avatar sets? Any other Avatar cards you are eyeing for new commanders or cards in the 99? I mean, specifically the Bant Aang looks interesting. We talked about Toph. I think
Redirect... What was the Firebender that Pontus was playing?
Azula. Azula's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I also think that there is a spot for firebending, specifically if there's a deck where you can use that mana in combat. For example, like you're playing a Vile Thrasios or something along those lines.
All you need is a black and a Tainted Pact, and then you cook everyone.
Yeah.
Because you double Tainted Pact, and then like that...
Well, that's with Azula specifically.
Sure, but look, we already know from like Quark that like double Tainted Pact wins the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Azula, I think, is better than people are gonna give it credit for. Because one, it's the same thing as Kefka. Its fallback plan is still Grixis, and that's pretty good.
Its main plan is Grixis.
It reminds me of
yeah.
It reminds me of Kess.
Yeah,
a lot actually.
Yeah,
very similar casting cost and similar effects.
Yeah,
or Krarksai. I think it's very similar to Krarkseye, actually.
Right. I do think there's room for firebending. I was so convinced they were going to give Red a flash enabler with firebending, which if they did that, like, the shit goes down in a handbasket. But
I truly do think like firebending is a mechanic that provides mana, and if you listen to Jason, this format is all about making mana and drawing cards. And like
It's true.
Yes, there are some like very strict limitations to that mana. It's only red, it's only in combat. But like if you're able to use that in your advantage somehow, I think that there's a way to do it.
Mana.
Yep. It's free mana, and usually it's a lot more than you look at, like than it should be, right? Because there are these limitations towards it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, maybe like a Vile Thrasios deck that can like convert that mana into card draw.
You just said Thrasios was bad.
I did, but like I don't know. I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
No, like
right?
you just play Idris, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Red already has so many of those, like the Bergie type effects, though, of like you can preserve that mana. That maybe it's doable. It's, but even like I mean, it's a casual card through and through. But even Sozin's Comment, right, is like all creatures you control have firebending 5 until end of turn.
Yeah.
That's like 50 mana.
Yeah.
Depending on your board state, you can probably do something with that much mana.
There's
one
going to
would
be some
think.
fringe thing to do with some of these firebending cards, in my opinion.
Yep.
We also saw another red Ral card. I forget what it's called.
Oh.
But it has Storm and then casts random things out of your library, and I was like, yeah, this is a Ral card.
no, dude.
People in our Discord were arguing that that's not even worth testing. I don't.
Look, dude,
that's
I hit up Pigeon and Blake, and they both said, yep, it's worth testing. And everyone else said no. And I was like, I'm going to listen to the two people that play Ral, dude.
The other thing that we cannot underestimate is the amount of new players this will drag into both EDH and cEDH. People will want to play. I mean, we already see it with Final Fantasy. The amount of people who just refuse to stop playing Final Fantasy Commanders because, hey, I like this character. Yeah. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, you're playing a cEDH deck, I get it, but like, you know, you're either playing Mardu, you're playing Kefka, but like people won't move off of Kefka because they're like, oh, I like this character.
Dude, that's when I started just giving them the Sephiroth version of Atraxa. Like, hey, play a good deck.
Yeah.
Sephiroth in the 99 is actually like underplayed, I think.
Oh yeah,
it's really
with the like the minor loop.
He was talking about the Sephiroth reprint of Atraxa.
Oh
yeah, Atraxa is literally Sephiroth. And
I forgot about that.
version.
Yeah, so we're gonna see probably even more with this, and like this is gonna be almost not quite Lord of the Rings levels, but close. Like it's
we're also just getting really good cards in this set.
Yeah,
like this is a set that's giving us more cards than we've gotten in a long time for cEDH.
Do you guys think there's anything with airbending or waterbending? Like we've talked about, earthbending I think is the most broken of the four, but airbending's interesting. Like if you had some sort of I don't know, blink it or strong ETBs or blink enablement, like maybe there's something there.
Wait, what does
airbending
do?
It exiles it, and then it's soul partition for everything. It exiles it, and then you can cast it for 2 instead of its casting cost.
I don't think there's anything that's like.
No, there's.
And then waterbending is like a cost reduce.
Like I think there's like a semi-blue thing that can definitely take advantage of airbending.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because if you're able to like keep bouncing like your Peregrine Drake and like you can make infinite mana off of it, like there's definitely something there.
Yep.
These cards
that like
are so
people.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what the whole deck is, right? Like semi-blue is a deck that's full of bad cards.
Sure.
Yeah, and waterbending.
But its win rate represents that.
And waterbending is just harmonized, basically. I think it's like you tap shit and it reduces the cost on it.
Yeah. I'm less convinced by waterbending just because the costs of every waterbending ability I've seen are just like way too much.
The bloodbending one was really cool, but waterbend 10 for it I think is brutal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you guys think about Katara's reversal? That's the 2 blue, 2 generic.
It's too expensive.
Too expensive.
I think so too.
It's stupid decks like Rog Thrust will probably test it and play it and go like, oh, it's kind of gas. But like Pigeon also played Sudden Sub, and like that was fine. That was like a meta call, and that it was good because it's uncounterable, right?
Glarb probably plays it.
No. Glarb never has that much mana.
That's fair.
It like might with Cabbage Man.
I think the card is good. I don't think it's the second coming of Jesus. It's fine.
I mean, it gives you mana.
Sure, but if it gets removed, then you have a lot of what? Nothing.
It's calling ritual things.
That's actually kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
for
also,
someone
like-
else's calling ritual, great.
Yeah, it just makes my
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
ritual better.
I think it's going to be overplayed, but I'm worried that like it's not where it needs to be timing wise, unless you're like getting it out really early. Because if you're playing it on curve, like it's the same thing as like Ristic Study, right? It's the same amount of cost. It's like 2 and a green, and Study's 2 and a blue, obviously. We already know that on curve Study is bad. So like Ristic Study on turn 3 is objectively bad, and we're also advocating that Ristic Study on turn 2 is not necessarily good enough. And even I've seen players play turn 1 Study and then just die anyway. But like, what makes you think that Cabbage Merchant's gonna be any different?
I think people are a little bit more reluctant to push into mana, right? So like, if you're able to, like, if
There's
you
no
land
cards
a
backing it
turn
up,
2,
right?
Well, I mean, you can have interaction though, right?
But
Like tapping out with Cabbage Man and then having interaction in hand is way better than tapping out with Ristic Study and not having interaction in hand.
But that's requiring you to have interaction in hand, which is not guaranteed.
Sure.
And there's no guarantee that you draw it at any point with Cabbage Merchant. Whereas Study, you're at least drawing cards.
You know the best Cabbage Merchant deck? Balin.
Oh God, not this.
It doesn't make him good enough to play.
I think Balin's cool. I actually do.
I think Balin is cool as well.
But he's the only one that can turn it into mana or cards or like anything.
I don't know if I agree with Balin being the best Cabbage Merchant deck. I unfortunately do think it's TNT because they're on Hazel's Brewmaster.
Oh, that's fair.
Like anything
think
that
it's
has Hazel's
that's
is
a
like
minor-
kind of sick.
That's a minor synergy.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to Corey, and I do tend to listen to Corey, and Corey has a pretty good reason to listen to him at this point.
Yeah. Corey's
he's
an excellent player.
very stoked on Hazel's Cabbage. Because, like, oh, I have 10 Ranger Captains. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, no.
Yes, I get that, but that requires Ranger to be in yard.
Oh, for sure.
That requires you to have Brewmaster, and it requires you to have Cabbage Merchant.
I think you have to be playing a very like specific type of TNT that like can drag that game into the deep waters.
Yeah.
And just like have this overwhelming resources.
I'm just so worried that like it's not like it will happen, right? There will be games where that assembles. But my question is like, how often is that going to happen?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's just an incredible like mana outlet or mana engine.
Yeah.
It feels
like-
closer to Ska than like a Ristic.
Where did Ska go? Where is he? Is he okay?
Does Rally even play Ska? Like who plays?
No.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Farm doesn't play Ska right now.
Yeah.
Wait, are you sure? I think Jace is still on Ska.
Jace is Jace.
Jace is an incredible player.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah,
lives and
no,
breathes
did I
by
say
the
did I
Ska,
say anything
dude.
otherwise? Like Ska is excellent,
Yeah.
right? But
It is 4 mana.
yeah.
It's 4 mana that you need other synergies to like be able to make mana, and Cabbage Man is just like, if someone's going for a win, most likely I'm getting mana out of this.
Is there a Reanimator TNT?
Yeah, Razaketh.
Razakats.
Dude.
Might be kind of interesting.
I think that is Corey's version of TNT.
Yeah, I'm totally open to the fact that like it's a good card and it will see play. I'm totally fine with that. I would just caution everyone that like let's start to think about like these things, and if things are continuing to move in the pace that they are right now, like I'm just worried about where it fits in, and like I don't know that it's gonna make green like that much better.
I think if you tap out for Cabbage Man on turn 2 or 3, you're probably still dying right now.
Yeah, I'm worried that that's the case.
I think it depends on the deck.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Because, like, I would tap out
I'm happy
for...
the green's getting the card. I'm actively happy that the card is being printed and it will see play.
Because, like, for example, okay, my only, like, pushback on that statement is, like, would you not tap out for Smothering Tithe on turn 2? Like, every one of us would do that, right?
But do you think that this is better than Tithe somehow?
No, but I think that it's, like, pretty close. And it's 1 less mana.
It's not pretty close.
I think it is pretty close. In current meta, I think that it's pretty close.
Cabbage Man Wheel doesn't do anything.
I agree. But
Cabbage Man Facebreaker doesn't do anything.
But Cabbage Man turn 2 is a lot easier to do.
Sure.
It also, on turn 2, like, especially right now in the meta, like, we're not seeing as many Ristics and Fishes, right? So, like, Smothering Tides are not providing as many resources as they used to, but Cabbage Man will. And they're reusable resources until Cabbage Man dies. Like, I think that they're very comparable cards.
Or, I'm going to keep singing the praises of this deck, even though it's probably bad. Cabbage Man Toph and some sort of, like, Chromatic Lantern effect
it's
is
insane.
double the mana.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I think there's gonna be weird decks like God, what is the green background commander?
Aranis Street Urchin?
Nope. The other one.
There's another one.
Yep. Character from Baldur's Gate. The druid. Jaheira and the whatever the treasure red background is, like that deck makes a shit ton of mana. Yeah.
Okay.
That deck makes a lot of mana.
Yeah.
And all it cares about is tokens. And like all your tokens tap for green, and like that's cool. There might be something there, right? But
there's the
I don't know.
Is it 4 mana Realms Uncharted, but the lands go to battlefield now instead of
I
graveyard?
I think it's 5.
I think it's
5.
4 in a green. Yeah.
It's a weird, I do think that card will see play though, or at least testing.
I think it goes in Lumra for sure because they just win if that resolves.
Yeah.
Is Lumra playing Cabbage Man? Cabbage Merchant? I think that's like the big question. Like these are the questions we need to be asking, whether the card will see play or not. Yes, it will. But like, are the decks that need these tools, like, is Loomer gonna play it? I think that's kind of up for.
I don't think Loomer plays it. They
are you
might.
sure?
They might.
Are you sure? Because like, if Loomer goes like land, pedal, vault, Cabbage Merchant, and then like everyone's like, oh shit, like we just like can't play out our rocks and stuff because Loomer is gonna be played on turn 2 and they have like excess mana.
Yeah, I mean it's possible.
Yeah, is it almost like, people joke about Lotho being a soft rule of law? Is it a similar effect that it actually slows down the game enough for a TNT or something
Which,
like this?
maybe that's like what you want too, right?
I think we're going to be surprised about the net effect of this card more than like what the card actually does and like how it's read.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, people have already decided, right? It's in the zeitgeist as this game-changing card.
Well, we've only been talking about it since it was spoiled.
The waiting room has started for so
certain
long.
People won't shut the fuck up about Cabbage Merchant. Yeah, so it's interesting. I'm happy it's being printed, but I think the effects of it are going to be outside of what we can predict. So.
Yeah. I also think, sorry,
Nope.
I'm going to keep talking about
Cabbage
Merchant. It also like helps
Figured
with
you
your
would.
opal, right? Like your opal count is like
This is
better.
the level of things that we're going to talk about with Merchant.
No, but it's good. Like people count Lotho in their opal count, right? And this does the same thing. A lot of people.
I guess. I don't. You know what? I don't count Lotho in an opal count because I don't think it's incorrect. I think it's incorrect to cut opal from the decks that I'm playing it in.
Yeah, but
like
I think
in
there's
farm,
a
like
threshold.
when am I cutting opal? Like
I think that there's a threshold of artifacts that people need to run for people to start considering opal, though. And if you can start looking at Lotho and Cabbage Man as something that provides opal count,
but does opal have enough of an effect at that point once you have Merchant and not all those foods?
I mean, possibly.
Not really.
I mean, opal. Well, I don't know.
Also, Lotho and opal, like you double spell. Like you play Lotho, then you play opal, then you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that. There's other things. I get what you're saying. This card is gonna be really interesting. Also, are we just avoiding the fact that you can run it as your commander?
I was actually going to ask about that.
I just don't know what you do in mono green with that much mana.
What do you mean? Zavala finds a way.
Yeah, but Zavala is a combo piece like in the command zone.
So, well, there's lots of commanders that aren't combo pieces in command zone that get played.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can just run the Ashaya combo in the deck.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are the best things you can do in mono green, right? It's like Ashaya and Lumbra.
Ashaya, and you can run Selvala in the 99, I guess.
You can run hard stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it work through OOF?
Yeah, because it's not activating them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Does Tyam play this card?
Does Tyam play?
It's a 3-drop, right?
I'm like 90% sure Tyam plays.
I think we found things that are more interesting than the card in TNT. Yeah,
that's bad. I mean, it's great for Josh.
So like you just play like Null Rod, like Oof.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh cool, I have mana. Yeah.
Do you guys think that Avatar changes the meta more than Final Fantasy did? Or is it similar?
I don't know.
Avatar.
I think they're probably.
Well, okay. So like, what are the strong Final Fantasy cards?
That still see play: Kefka, Terra, Vivi, and Sephiroth in the 99, I guess.
I think this set is definitely going to be way more impactful than that.
Okay, I don't know what else is left other than.
I mean, there's like Louis Joie's, but like
Sure.
I still think that card's like not really seeing play at this point.
Yeah.
I think that this set is definitely going to see way more play in our format, just from like the cards in the 99.
Also, I think it's
like,
just
dude,
more popular than.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It being more popular in Final Fantasy might not be true.
Dude, the bird alone is going to see more play than the entirety of Final Fantasy.
yeah, probably.
I like in the 99.
Oh,
Like,
for
I'm
sure,
a firm
yeah.
believer of that.
Oh, I think it just like it's a strictly better Archivist, and Archivist is already in most decks that can play it.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a lot about the Cabbage Merchant, and unfortunately, we came up with a really bad archetype for the deck. We came up with a really bad idea. We're now putting out publicly to a lot of people. So on that note, we talked about a lot of things in this episode. So thanks for sticking with us and sticking with us our like camera issues and stuff. But we just want to finish up and say like, keep looking out for updates from us for the league and prizing and different things we'll be putting out. We do this every month where we put out most of the stuff early and then like we'll kind of add on as we go. But I think the big things for us right now are the new addendum, the player guidelines and expectations that we have out. I think that's really important for us to really put our foot down about a lot of that stuff and say like, look, this is what we expect. And we want people to be proud of playing in our league. They already are, but we want that to continue to happen. We want you to go to events and say like, oh, you know, like it was so cool meeting you in the Critical EDH League and like getting to play with you, and like now we get to play in a tournament together or against each other and that sort of thing, and have more of those experiences where people are like, wow, I got a lot of really, really good practice, and then like I'm going to this tournament with confidence because I got like a lot of reps and on my deck and stuff like that. So we want those things to continue to happen, and for those reasons, that's why we're tightening up a little bit on guidelines and rules and stuff like that. But hopefully, you know, the feedback is good and we'll keep working at it. If it's not perfect, then that's fine. We'll keep changing it.
Absolutely.
We wanted to say thank you to all of our sponsors, not least, but also including Doot Loot, Manavolt Proxies, all the events that we've mentioned, and people like Lango, what was the event that we just mentioned? I'm really bad with
Royal
names.
Rumble.
Royal Rumble.
There's Sinkhole 2 in Jersey.
I was about to say the Boyle Rumble, which doesn't make any fucking sense. The Sinkhole.
Also, look out for Arizona's Crazy Diamond event that just got announced.
I'm excited to talk about that and excited to go to it.
And we have a 5K in 2 weeks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it 2 weeks?
Or 2.5. Yeah, it's on the 21st, 22nd.
We have the same event in which Austin and I first met, Ed. I was playing Rogsai, but not quite Rongsai yet. And yeah, that was definitely I was trying to wheel at instant speed. That was the only thing I was doing. I was like, here's a flood collar, here's a wheel. Oh yeah, don't worry about the waist knot that's over there.
Waist knot Rogsai is sick.
The deck was called Wasteful Artistry. It ran artist talent and waist knot.
I've looked at it before. Yeah,
and
it's sick.
I mean, I got third. So like it was not bad. But yeah, we have that event coming up. That's a really big charity event. It's like a 5K, good amount of players. Looking forward to that. Yep. We have locals this weekend.
Yeah, the circuit starts for us this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it
the winter circuit starts on the 7th? Yeah.
Wow. So we have the level 7 winter circuit. Did you guys see the Reddit thread of the guy asking? He's like,
yeah.
I was like,
Bro, like, come hang out.
He's like, my local event is running a thing for a LED. I was like, that sounds familiar. I was like, what event is it? He's like, the level 7 winter circuit. I'm like, oh yeah, you should check out our channel and check out MTG Basics.
Dude, I think you legitimately scared that guy too.
He's like, oh shit, what am I running into?
You're like, Blender, have fun.
Yeah, exactly. But we wanted to say thank you to everyone who watches this and has stuck with us this long, which is like, what, 2 hours?
Yeah, it's a long episode.
Yep.
Yeah, but anything else? What deck are you playing right now?
Tim Dargo.
Austin?
Rogtev soon.
Oh, come on. What are you playing this weekend?
I'm playing Atraxa this weekend.
Okay,
unless I can get the cards for Rogtev, and then I'll play Rogtev.
Yeah, I'm going to play...
The Trog is real.
Stop. Take it elsewhere. I don't want to...
Seek help.
Blink twice if you got Nether Voided.
Yeah. You should call that deck Prescription Helmet.
It literally said the deck name is just concede for all of our sakes.
Yeah. I like Prescription Helmet.
I'm going to play Toph next Friday, I think, and then we'll see if I actually keep playing it, but I'll give it a shot.
Someday Jordan will play Blue.
What are you playing this weekend?
I'm going to play Farm.
Yeah.
Sarah Ascendant may or may not be in the list, but you know.
I saw you switching that last week. I'm like, what are you doing?
One of the games at Locals, I had 58 life and I had a tutor. And they're like, oh dear God, if he tutors for Nas, we're all really dead. And then someone presented a counterspell and they're like, well, I can't really stop you otherwise. So like we could draw, so like we ended up drawing that game. But I mean the card doesn't do nothing.
I'm maybe supposed to run that in Tim Dargo, actually.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Anyway.
But that's it for us for now. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Stop recording.